and then if you want to click away the icon. Hello, everyone! Well, I'm gonna get that away. Okay, cool. Hello, everybody! It's been a while. So, we are continuing the campaign we started a couple weeks ago. Took a break for Halloween. We did that one-shot Shadow of War. We've been up to some things, so we're going to continue that party with some new players. I'm your Dungeon Master, of course. This is just a show where we kind of roll some dice, have some drinks, and have some fun. So, let's introduce our players. You want to start?
Alright. I'm Mikhail, Human Rogue. Kind of just a washed-up thief now, so just doing my own thing.
Seamus Isman, elderly wizard, wandering around for universal truth, scholar and wanderer.
Alexia, the half-elven huntress. Once the prey, now the hunter. On a journey for revenge to find those who tore my family apart.
Vesper, the small elven wizard who is on a journey of self-discovery.
Aren't we all?
Aren't we all? So, some recap of what happened last time. The tournament in Vanden happened. Alexia won by default.
Yeah.
As her final opponent forfeited the match for whatever reason. After a meeting with the King of Vanden, he said that the tournament was really a ploy to get strong adventurers there to find someone strong enough to go rescue his daughter who had been kidnapped. After the party argued about it for a little while, it was cut short by some of the chaos happening around the city as the gates were blown apart and the mist invaded the city. After running around the city, saving a couple people, fighting off some mutated townspeople, they went back to the castle to see that the gates itself had been blown up and the defenses destroyed. As they made their way through the now dead garden, they went to the banquet hall where they had had a party just earlier that night and was surrounded by this ocean of blood that was like ankle deep, basically. After being antagonized by something who was just sitting in the throne room, he disappeared and sunk into the ground. And as he sunk into the ground, all the blood and the visceral started to form together into this golem-like creature. And that's where we left off.
It's really gross.
You guys see that as the blood starts to go towards this golem-like creature, Swish and Forfo actually start to sink into the ground as well. Just like the person that was there before.
Damn it.
So you two are left alone.
Great.
Nice.
Okay.
You guys, having been traveling together for a little while, when all this started to happen, you guys were just in the city, and so you started to help the refugees run away from like whatever was happening. And so the castle being the strongest point is where you guys all went. There's supposed to be a safe house inside the castle. And as you're just ushering the last few people that are surviving, you do hear the sounds of battle in the other room.
I hate this part. We have to investigate. It is the morally upright thing to do.
You know what? You're right. Let's go investigate.
Alright, so let's everyone have roll initiative. My notebook. I must read something.
Damn.
Okay, what do we add to initiative?
Your initiative modifier.
Oh,
I don't have that.
that's what I always forget.
Oh, it's your dexterity.
It's just
Dexterity? Okay.
Alright, so 2025.
I got a 22.
Oh, what'd you get?
23.
Oh, alright.
Oh,
And then it's the modifier is your dexterity and...
Whatever you roll in your dexterity modifier.
Okay. I don't understand.
So roll the d20.
I did.
Okay, what is it?
7.
So add your dexterity modifier to it now, which is 3, right?
Yeah, 3.
So you got a 10 total.
Okay.
So yeah, 20, 25, and then 50 and 20. 10 to 15. What'd you get?
12.
12, and you got a 10.
Mm.
Okay. Alright, and then I actually have to take a shot because I got a natural 1.
Huh?
We are starting the game off right.
Take that.
So I'm gonna enjoy some spiced rum.
And the shot glasses are on this side.
I will be going last. If you want to start telling everyone what you want to do, Michael.
I guess. Well, how far away is the dude?
Let's see. He's about like 35 feet away.
35 feet.
Yes.
I'm just gonna stay where I'm at and do nothing.
Quite productive.
Are you doing nothing, or are you delaying your action?
I'm literally just doing nothing.
Okay, that brings it to you.
Oh boy, where do I walk in? Where's
So you guys will come in through here.
Okay.
Bloody hell! What is that?
Yeah, as you rush through the door, you see this golem-like creature that's constructed of like other corpses and like dripping with blood
Oh, so gross.
and just other things of that nature. Like it's literally put together by multiple other things.
Random boom sticking in.
All right. Well, I am going to promptly scorching ray it.
Okay.
16 for touch.
This will hit.
Awesome. 7, 10, 12 damage.
12 damage.
Dang.
So as you come out, you point your finger at it and focus, and you feel the energy build up in your fingertip. And as you do, you release this huge ray of just fiery energy from his fingertip. You see someone just come in from the other side and just yells at it, and it all of a sudden launches a beam from his hand.
Frazzle bedazzle!
That brings it up to you.
Well,
Alexia.
at least he's hitting the column. Might as well assist.
Can't do that all the time.
Okay, let's see. Alright, so I'll move up 10 feet, so I'm within my 30 range to get my bonuses.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use my Blackthorn, so I'm
Okay.
feeding it my blood right now.
So you roll for damage for that.
Oh, damn it.
It's a D4 to you, and then it does an extra D6 of damage.
No.
I think you just wrote it on there. We talk about this every time.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's a D4 to you, and then a
D6
D6
to the
extra
bonus.
damage.
1!
So it does
Haha!
1 to you. It's not that bad.
Minus 1. Okay.
So as you hold out your bow and you focus on it, like you feel as it goes from the smooth ebony wood and turns into... Oh wow! We are starting off great tonight, guys.
Yeah!
So as you hold out like
Nothing happens.
the black ebony bow, it goes from the smooth wood to this thorny thing, and you feel it impale your hand for 1 point of damage. Not that bad, but unfortunately, as you let loose your first arrow, you let it loose, and then you don't know where you're aiming. Maybe the pain in your hand was actually more than you thought it was. As you suddenly look up and shoot instead.
I mean, fuck. It's my life.
Off to a lovely start.
It's doing good.
You're just like, who are these people?
So yeah, you
Terrible.
Ah, these buffoons!
that's your round.
Alright, so I enter. I see the whatever that thing is, and I'm just like, this is a great way to start the day. And I'm like, maybe I should attack it, so I cast Magic Missile.
Perfect. And you don't have to roll to hit with that, just hits. And then
That's
what level
dope.
are you casting it at?
1 or wait, what?
Because depends what level you're casting at, right?
Yeah, then it does more d4s.
Yeah, so I think for you it might be like maybe 2d4 or something like that.
2d4? Okay.
2d4 plus 2.
Yeah, I haven't played a wizard in a long time,
Okay.
but I'm making sure.
I don't even know Magic Missile.
Alright, so
She's just like, haha! I can do something you can't.
for every 2 cast levels beyond first, you get an additional missile. 2 at 3rd level, 3 at 5th level. So you have 2 missiles that you shoot right now.
Okay. And that's 2d4?
So 3. Because it's
3d4?
1 plus... Every 2 casters beyond first, you get an additional missile. So I think it's just 2.
Okay.
So you'll shoot... So you'll roll 2d4 for that.
Okay. So that's 2... 1. So 3 plus 2... yeah, 3 plus 2.
Okay.
That'll be 5 damage.
Do they increase in damage?
Or you said the 2d4
it's just how much missile you do. I might have said that. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's been a long since I played the wizard. I'm sorry. I've been doing dungeon mastering for so long now. No one even plays wizards. That one shot, man. It's already getting to me. All right, so
Right behind you.
1d4 plus 1 points of force damage,
So it'd be
and then so 2 missiles. So it is 2d4 plus 2 essentially.
Okay, so it would be 5.
So 5, yes. All right. So as you point your finger at it, you see this other person coming from the other side and stand. Are you guys like next to each other now?
Yep.
Yeah, next to each other, and you see her fingers instead. His fingers instead glow with this white light that kind of envelops his finger, and he shoots it forth, and these little tiny just pew pew things smack into the side of it. It doesn't seem to phase it very much, but you can tell there's an impact. And then there's
Well, at least someone's doing damage.
All right. So it's gonna use his movement. Up to you.
Oh, damn it.
He lumbers up to you. Every single step he takes, just shaking the foundation. Blood spraying everywhere. He's gonna swing on you. What's your AC?
18.
18. Alright. So he'll miss you with all 3. He gives him both his fists pounding. He actually hits the sides next to you because you narrowly dodge out of the way. And as you do, there's just huge craters left in the ground. If that hits you, you can't even fathom the amount of damage it would have done. That'll be top of the round, so it's your turn.
Narrow escape.
How far away is he now?
He is now 20 feet away.
So would I be able to move behind him?
Yes.
Cool.
And then you will flank him.
Yeah, I don't think I get anything because he's not technically an undead.
You don't know?
I would assume so, but
we have to identify him.
he was
Made out of
pretty
dead parts.
Yeah.
pretty made out of dead people.
You don't know?
Does a 13 hit?
13 does hit.
Oh my god.
Oh, dang.
He's this huge
Shit.
colossus creature. I mean, not colossal size, but he's a huge creature.
It's a mighty 5 damage.
A mighty 5 damage. As you
Better
go
than
and
my 0
barely
damage.
graze one of its makeshift legs. Brings us up to, what's your character's name?
Seamus!
Seamus.
Super Irish.
Got shillelagh.
What's yours?
Vesper.
Vesper. Alright. So Seamus, you are up.
Oh dear, how to deal with this opponent? I have the answer. I walk up shortly and I go, and I large person.
On him?
On the roguelike fellow.
Oh. Okay.
Everything
Do
on
resist?
you gets significantly bigger.
Yeah.
Do you resist it?
Dude, someone's trying to cast magic on me.
Okay, so
I don't know. Stranger danger!
What is the save for it then?
Fortitude negates.
What's his DC for it?
DC is, it's a first level, 15.
Oh, dang, Jen.
No, I don't.
You freak out and then suddenly get...
My voice like just deepens.
You see him kind of like look at you and say a couple things, and you're not sure what it is, as you're not very familiar with magic, but then you start feeling your whole body start to just like swell.
Everything about me increases, right? Like
Yes.
armor, weapons.
This changes the creature's size category to the next one larger. The target gains +2 to strength, -2 to dexterity to a minimum of 1, and a -1 penalty on attack rolls due to its increased size.
So your size large now.
Yeah, and you have a reach of 10 feet, and you encompass 10 feet of space.
Can you give me the temporary stuff again? So it's -2 to AC?
Yep.
Or to dex?
Yeah, -2 to dex, +2 to strength. Everything increases in size category as well, so all your damage and everything for like your weapons and everything goes 1 notch higher.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh yeah, I did that to Nick that one time. We were fighting all those like lions or whatever.
So it's just... Do I get any minuses to AC aside from the
Just the
dex?
dexterity negative.
Oh my god, that's stupid.
You do take a -1 to your attack rolls, but you get a +2 to strength, so that it balances
-1
itself.
too.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's basically the same, but you just do more damage.
Yeah. And then my weapon increases to large, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I gotta go see what the damage for that is now.
I think it's just a D8 because it's a short sword.
Yeah, it just goes from
Yeah,
D6
just
to
short.
D8.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Well, this is weird.
You're welcome!
Yeah, so you feel like your whole body starts to swell, and as try as might for you to resist it, you just can't. And then you see your hand grow larger than your face, and then your whole body starts to transform with it as you're standing there much larger than you used to be.
Alright, well, with having little experience with magic, I'm a little scared. So I jump back like 10 feet. 1, just a little terrified of what just happened, and 2, to get the fuck away from the golem, because he's on my ass.
Yeah. So if you can safely move a 5 foot, but if you try and get away from it, AOP.
Okay, fine, I'll do the 5 foot. I don't want him swinging at me.
Okay.
Alright,
And with your point blank shot, you do get the bonus for it being 30 feet away still.
I do have, okay. When is
Far shot is when you are not near it.
Okay, so like out of my 30 feet range?
Yeah.
Well, I guess technically I have a 100-foot range.
You
so out of that
essentially
range.
shoot your arrows at positives no matter what with far shot and point blank shot.
Okay.
Having both of them. You never have a negative essentially no matter how far away, unless they're really far away. It also increases your range to like you see farther and you can shoot larger.
Cool. Alright, so I'm gonna do rapid shot with the blackthorn again.
Okay.
Or not again.
So you're gonna invoke it twice?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh dear.
4 damage.
I'll say that like since you're a wizard, you can actually kind of tell like what she's doing. You can tell she's invoking some kind of magical weapon.
What kind of black sorcery is this?
Okay, 8.
An 8 will miss, unfortunately. And you rapid shot, so go ahead and shoot again.
Uh-huh. Okay, so the first misses. Oh, 13.
That'll hit.
Okay. 1, 2. Okay, so then it's the D8 plus the D6, right?
Yes.
8 damage.
8 total?
Yep.
Alright.
Oh wait, plus 1, so 9 total.
9 total. Alright. So, as you invoke the power of the blackthorn again, you again feel its ebony, it's usually smooth wood turned into these thorns, and it pricks you in the hand, and you actually feel like you don't bleed, you feel the blood kind of drain from it into your hand. As well as your first arrow, and it just completely shatters against the creature as it didn't even pierce its flesh. Whatever thick armor it has by this, it didn't even pierce it. However, your second one, you shoot again in the same spot, seeing the opening, and you do manage to get an arrow into it and it deals damage.
Cool.
Puts it at Vesper.
Alright. So, standing back here, watching everything going down. Everybody's fighting. I'm like, this is a pretty safe distance. It's attacking the person in front, those two are behind, you know. I'll go a few feet more, maybe like 5 feet ahead.
Okay. You have a 30-foot movement speed.
Okay. And then I will cast Scorching Ray.
Okay.
Lovely choice!
There we go.
I approve.
So you roll to hit. So roll to see if you can hit touch AC.
Okay, so where's my?
So it's a D20.
I'm trying to find it. 14.
14, they'll hit.
Okay, and then what do I? Let me go find out what I rolled for that.
Okay. It should be the same as yours.
4d6.
So 46 of
46.
fire damage.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites.
Gotta find the D6. Oh, it's D6. Okay. So 6.
Okay.
4.
Okay.
5.
Okay.
15.
4.
19.
19 damage.
And
Wizards!
So you also see.
like cheers.
You also see as the other kind of like robed figure that stepped out of the previous one also points his finger at it and says, "Good choice," and then shoots another fiery bolt from the fingertip as it just blasts into it, removing a large chunk of the golem. And that makes it my turn. So you can AOP for me walking forward.
Hit him!
Go ahead and swing on him.
Oh no!
Does a 11 hit?
11 does not hit. So you,
Damn it,
not quite used to your new size, you swing at him as he walks forward, and you definitely like overswing it, and you're like, whoa, I am not used to having long arms like this.
Clumsy as fuck.
So the first one will hit you. As he swings on you again.
Oh, damn. Wait, what?
Yes. So you watch for it, do. And so, with one huge lumbering fist, he hits you in the chest, and you feel your whole body. Go ahead and make a fortitude save.
Oh, what did that?
A fortitude save.
What? What's my 20?
Yes. So roll d20, add your fortitude to it.
Okay. 23.
23, easy. So you feel your whole body lift into the air momentarily as he deals 14 points of damage to you. But you do manage to hold your gun. You are not knocked back at all. Then he comes back with another one, trying to swing at you, and this one just grazes past you, leaving another crater in the ground as it misses you entirely.
What a little bitch.
That'll be your turn, Mikhail.
Okay. Step back over to him and I'll swing on him.
Okay.
That one.
Oh.
Shots Alright,
We're really going
on the way there.
So, again, not quite
so
used to your new form. You actually managed to step over on top of your own feet as you try and take a step forward. And as you go to swing your sword, you completely trip yourself and not fall on the ground prone.
Okay.
Giant down!
There's rum and there's Kraken too.
Yeah, there's rum and there's Kraken. There's also vodka.
Oh, never mind. I want
Oh
vodka.
god, we're shooting vodka?
There's
What?
also
That's-
Delicious Maker's Mark.
Oh yeah, there you go.
You really want to shoot Serna?
No, I'll have some vodka.
That is the Smirnoff.
I'm gonna ice you, man. It will be Seamus' turn after this, though.
Ooh, that's something.
What flavor is it?
dear.
Grapefruit.
Ew.
Grapefruit.
Yeah.
Grapefruit.
Good luck.
Grapefruit vodka. I've had it for like 6 months and I've had like this much.
I don't typically like grapefruit, but it smells.
God, we're starting off this game great. This is unprecedented, this many nat ones.
So
It's not bad, but it's not good.
So, as you...
it's not the worst thing that tastes.
As you launch
He's
you
on
launch
board.
Scorching Ray, you enlarge the person in front of you. So far, your impression is not great of these adventures, as you see the archer miss all of her shots, basically, except for a few.
Yay.
This
I got
one, the one you enlarged, has now missed once and then fallen flat in his face the second time.
1 out of 3 is not bad.
Let's just see.
Itty bitty, okay?
Oh dear, wouldn't that be amazing? Just color spray it.
I mean,
That might not be a good idea, though. Too many people.
everyone sees colors now.
I was once colorblind, and now I'm
Now there's too much colors.
Is this what the world really looks like?
We'll send Bartholomew my weasel forward and have him bite the ankle of the man.
Okay. Alright. I like it. Go ahead and roll attack.
Bartholomew does not hit.
Oh my god! What a weasel.
You see him kind of nip at his heels. He's
Yeah.
just like, no.
Like, fix him.
Alexia, go ahead.
Oh man.
Well, I mean, you can send your weasel as an action. So, I mean, do you want to move it all? You get movement and action still, so.
We're gonna move over here.
Okay, so now it's Alexia's turn.
Seeing a little kind of woodland creature, I'm just like, oh, little weasel. And then he doesn't do shit, so it's like, okay, well, let's try this shooting thing again. So I won't invoke the black thorn, but I'll just do a rapid shot with my.
You gotta take your 5-foot step. Otherwise, you'll provoke the AOP.
Mm-hmm. Oh, nat 20.
Ooh,
Everyone take a drink.
Success.
Okay, so the first one will crit.
Like rapid firing?
Yeah.
I don't know the second one.
Oh, nat 20. Or, sorry, nat 19, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh no!
Alright, so that hits.
So yeah, they both
Both
hit.
hit. Okay, so...
So your first one's gonna do triple damage since
Yeah.
it's a bow.
18.
18.
Plus 7. 25?
25 damage. Alright.
Once more, do it again.
I finally got it down!
So this
Years
time,
of practice.
you see the archer take a step back, and as you like loosen the bow up, this time you're focused. I don't know if it was seeing the cute little creature or your determination to actually do something.
I mean, I'm back in my natural environment.
You let loose your arrow and actually hits a very vital spot on the golem. You hit it right through the eye. It will take disadvantage on its next attack, but you hit it right through its eye. It's like a part of its face kind of shoots off, basically, and then the body parts kind of like crawl back together and try and fix itself.
I mean, I had to protect the weasel. Had to make sure he didn't get
And then exploiting that weakness, you shoot another shot, and it hits exactly where you hit it, kind of Robin Hooding the arrow into its.
Yes!
Let's see so what this thing is.
Awesome.
Alright, that brings us to Vesper.
Okay. Alright, so I see that the nice lady over here actually hit it this time.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe these aren't such bad adventurers. Maybe they aren't completely useless.
Only time will tell.
I decide to cast Acid Arrow.
Okay,
That's cool.
I believe that's touch AC, right?
It is range attack.
Okay.
It is... The arrow deals 2d4 points of acid.
Do you have to roll the hit with it, though?
I'll look it up.
That's what I'm doing.
It doesn't say anything about hitting.
Yeah, it doesn't say
Alright,
anything.
then nice.
Just tags them, apparently.
Okay, there you go. So go and roll your damage.
Okay, so 2d4.
Nice.
4.
Okay.
2. So it is 6.
6 damage total. Oh, whoops. Okay. Seamus, you are up.
What about Mikhail?
I'm drowning in the blood. Nice first quit.
I would help you up, but you're a giant now.
Oh, you know what? I didn't even attack. It's my turn. I'm sorry.
Oh my.
But I have disadvantage. Doesn't matter. Disadvantage doesn't matter. Okay, well I missed twice then.
Who are you aiming at?
You. I'm gonna look for
yes!
So you're prone, so you your attack opportunity this time.
Got
As he steps forward, and again, like he kind of just like tries to slam you with both his fists, and you do a backflip out of the way, being as dexterous as you are.
Oh yeah.
So it is your round. Do you want to stand up, or okay? So you spend your round standing up. You kind of slip in the blood a little bit. You're like, I am so big right now, and you kind of like stand up. It is Seamus's turn.
Bartholomew! Grasp him with the shocks!
Okay. Are you channeling the spell through him?
Yes. Nat 20!
Oh my god!
Cheers. Cheers a little weasel.
Excellent. Ooh, wonderful. Like this. 10, 13, 14.
14 damage. How do you want to do this?
He's gonna get him right in the ankle.
Kill shot.
This is the kill shot. Describe your killing blow to it.
He's going to get him in the ankle and tear him apart at the seams like a vicious weasel with his prey.
Alright, so you see this tiny little creature just kind of like go up to it, and as he bites him in the ankle, this time you see the teeth actually connect, and then a huge amount of electricity shoots through him. The entire golem kind of like shakes and sputters, and then just explodes. Whatever keeping it together was destabilized by this attack. And then you see the weasel kind of just fly through the air, like gracefully.
I attempt to catch him! 17.
That'll catch him. You just catch him in your hands. He's covered in he's covered in blood and visceral, but he's just like nuzzles up to you.
Excellent, my pet. Adorable little gore mongol.
Alright, so what do you guys do?
Hello! I see you, we're in a bit of trouble. What seems to be going on? Do you have any idea what's happening?
I stumble to the old man and just,
The fuck you do to me? That will wear off after a while as I look up at him. You have approximately 2 more rounds.
Then I yell to Mikhail to watch where he steps.
I'm just kind of standing there like, hi guys.
I guess I'll approach everyone so I'm not like screaming across the banquet hall.
Are there like banners or something like hanging down that I can reach?
There was, not anymore.
I don't like being covered in blood.
Are we still trudging around in like a pool of blood?
No, it was ankle deep, but like as this monster formed, it like all of it basically soars to it,
Okay.
and so,
So it's just like
where it
clump.
exploded, there's definitely lots of mess,
Okay.
but you're not wading around in it anymore.
Alright.
You're definitely covered in it. Looks
I want to
like.
go over to one of the walls and just start like,
That's a
Push
pillar.
That's a pillar.
where's the walls?
Oh,
Okay.
walls. Okay.
I just want to go up to the walls and just like go like forward and like press myself into it and then like go like this all the way down and try to get some of that blood off.
Like a Varys.
Yeah, just like going down.
You
Alright.
do so, and as you do it, you finally shrink after a couple of rounds. You feel yourself return to normal, like, oh, everything's better. This is more natural.
So during those 2 rounds of Mikhail rubbing up and down the wall,
It doesn't do you much good, as there's still blood on the walls also, so it's like, some of it
Just
gets off
gathering
you,
more
but then it
now.
goes on you, like, it's...
you look exactly the same.
That's chunky.
I basically explained to... So I introduced myself to the newcomers. So I'm Alexia. This man over here is Mikhail. He'll be back when he's done cleaning himself. But I explained, so we came to this kingdom for a tournament. The tournament's now over. We learned afterwards that the king was looking for, what do we call them, warriors, venturers, to bring his daughter back, who was recently kidnapped. And so there's this gloomy fog and some creepy castle that appears, and we don't know much more than that, but we spent some time bringing in whatever townspeople were surviving after being attacked by mutant children. And here we are.
Seem to be in the same shoes as you. Didn't plan on
Small
this. Just wandering into town on my way, trying to find my way around the world.
Yes.
I want a journey to self-discovery.
Well, we all are, but let's hold off on that and try to find someone else.
You see, like, the elf before you. It's actually the first time you've seen, like, a full-blooded elf in a while. But he's, like, scrawny and has no muscle. The robes on him, like, kind of, like, hang off him. Like, they're probably the smallest size they can be, yet they're still too big.
Like children small. Alright,
He's like 5'3".
Oh, I still get to look down on you then. I'm 5'6", just like, okay. I guess, like, my initial reaction to seeing an elf, since I haven't seen one in a while, would just be kind of, I don't know, slightly uncomfortable because I know how they treat my kind. But I also just kind of look him up and down like, alright. You did good magic, but I won't
you're
consider
an
you
elf.
an enemy right now, or like a danger or whatever to me at the moment.
These old bones need a rest.
All right.
That was the most excitement I've had in a long time when I clicked my shillelagh on the ground.
I'm gonna go outside.
Okay.
Roll around in some grass.
So as you go outside, you're stopped by some of the city guard, and they're rushing up, like, forces all ready. They're like, we must save the king! And they come up to you and like, you there! Where's the king?
I don't know.
Are you responsible for this madness?
No.
I don't know. I think we should arrest him.
again. So kind of hearing some commotion.
Oh, you guys can definitely hear the commotion
Yeah,
outside.
okay.
These are
It
like
sounds like we have some problems.
Yeah,
we need
so
sorted
hearing
out.
all of this, I recall
These are
that-
knights, so like they're just because they come up. There's about 10 of them.
Yeah, so hearing all of this, I recall the other times that Mikhail has gotten the entire group into trouble with the law. So I head out there and tell them that we came into the banquet hall in search of the king as we were rescuing people, and we don't know where he is.
I will say that you guys actually do know where he is. He was one of the refugees you were escorting into like the safe room of the castle. There's like a panic room basically built in,
Yeah.
and so he was among the people that you're just like, we have to get you safety, Your Majesty.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you,
So
wait
we're
for
just
Steve?
like, oh, we know where he is.
Yeah.
Follow me.
Well, they know where the safe room is. You don't have to guide them there if you don't want to.
Okay.
No.
You just give them directions?
Yeah.
or- Okay, yeah. So
That
you-
way.
there's like, in the safe room, there's also like a handful of villagers there. Okay.
Move quickly, there's evil afoot.
Yeah, the fog now, I mean, you can barely see your hand in front of your face. Like, it's still enveloping the whole city. It's only about 2 a.m., so, like, you know that just from traveling around, like, this is a normal occurrence for the fog to occur. Every time the sun goes down, it comes up. This fog just appears out of nowhere, so you know that you have at least a few more, like, 5 or 6 more hours until the sun comes up, basically. And, like, it starts to evaporate.
Are we like in this courtyard right now?
Yes.
Is there like a fountain?
There was, now there's blood in it.
Oh dear.
Can't catch a break, Mikhail. Just live with it.
You could, like, rub yourself on, like, dead flowers and stuff.
Here, my friend, let me aid you, and I'll go. What is the spell? I'll flip through my book real quick.
He just pulls out.
He's like, let me help you, and he whips out this huge book and starts looking through it.
There we go. Prestidigitation. And we'll whip off a little bit of the blood.
So all of a sudden your clothes just kind of like, you see like the blood just off you, and you're good as new.
Does this flash onto someone else? Like, I'm just like,
Just like
damn it.
fly off. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Oh, that's so gross.
Your second interaction with magic, not so bad.
Old people. Okay, so now we know where the king is. We never officially accepted his quest to save his daughter, but I feel like that's what we're gonna do.
Do you wish to go speak with him at all, or?
Yes.
I think it might be best to wait out the fog. I don't know about you, but hanging out here doesn't sound all that
Well, then
fun.
let's go to the panic room.
To the panic room.
Then we can, at least from the king's mouth, refresh everyone on what we're looking for and what the quest is.
Okay.
What we need to do.
So as you guys make your way into like the castle panic room, essentially, the guards are hesitant to let you in, but a few of them recognize you guys, and they recognize you, and they're like, "Oh, you were helping us earlier," so they do allow you in. And the king is there. He's giving a speech right now. We will wait out these dark times. We will make sure that morning comes. You're all brave and continue to be brave. And in these times, we must remain together, remain strong. And then as he sees you as our tournament champion, the bravest among us, here to fight back the
By
darkness.
default.
Going to find a chair to sit down.
You see a few of them who had previously scoffed your titleship because of your heritage. They're just like, oh, she'll save us. Yeah.
Happy.
You had to bring that up.
Half-breed.
Alright, so I just approach the king and basically tell him, given the current events and what's been happening over the past, I don't know, day, like few hours that we've been encountering these beasts, small terrifying children, basically tell him that we will go and investigate and try to find this castle and potentially bring his daughter back. No promises. I will not promise anything at the moment, but we will try.
He tells you alive or dead. Just, I want to know that she is safe and unharmed, or at least put to rest.
Okay, I was gonna say
A
she's dead.
body-
She's
a
definitely
body-
not safe.
A body, if anything, is all I need. I
What
just
about
can't stand.
Parts of her body. If I don't find the entire body.
What are we going to do? Just take her ring finger and held her hostage and sell her back? Jesus Christ!
Yes. Just saying, you don't know what's happening in that castle. They could have torn her apart. Maybe her ring finger.
Perhaps it's not best to talk about.
Yeah. This is not the greatest
Hypothetically.
Anything you can
Dead
do.
or alive.
Anything you can do.
Got it.
I just need to know what happened to her.
Is there any more information you can give us about where this castle may be?
It comes and goes. It's spotted here and spotted across the country by some kind of magic.
Wizards.
I'm going to ponder through some of my books and make a knowledge check. Let's see.
Okay.
History. Ooh, 26.
26. What kind of history are you trying to glean?
How long has this thing been around? Does it have any connection to any sort of other castles? Like what does it like entail? Like as far as like how long has it been around?
What you can glean from it, you know that this is all in the last year that this has been happening.
Okay.
And I'll say that since you've been traveling around, you've heard similar stories. This is familiar to you. Just a few months ago, you're in another part of the country, and they're like, "Yeah, I saw it outside." And then like here, you're like, you hear the same story. It's also outside here. And then people are just like, "No, I've seen it across the ocean. Like it's over there." And this is what's going on like around the last year. You're hearing similar stories.
Sounds like powerful magic's afoot.
You also know that when these stories started cropping up is when the myth started as well.
Might you know who could potentially be casting this sort of magic?
I haven't a damn clue.
Damn it. Your books are useless. I want to know who's doing this.
So if I cast it local, could I possibly find out where was the last time it was seen?
Yeah, if you want
Okay. So how do I do that?
It's a local check.
Yeah, local check, and that
Oh,
would
it's
be
local.
So you roll your d20 and add your knowledge local
Okay.
score to it.
14, 4, and 18.
18. The last time that you heard of it, this is just from you being in town for a couple days. You've kind of like walked around and like heard stories. The last time you heard about this, it was spotted over on the eastern continent.
Alright, so, guys, last time I heard, it was spotted over on the eastern continent.
Oh, is there a connection with the locations it pops up? Like, is it always in a area with people, or is it always somewhere random? Is it? We have to find a connection. If it's targeting specific things, we can find where it's going to show up next.
You guys do know that the story of missing girls is also part of what you hear.
Are they all royalty?
All of royalty or noble birth or some kind of importance.
Yeah.
The city has not been targeted. Knowledge check.
This will take some time and research.
We should look into what noble or royal families have daughters that have not been
Now,
kidnapped yet.
are they all beautiful young women? Because we could go to some place where I'm not going to lie. There are some pretty fat cows around.
Be
I went
real.
there.
I went there.
Sick man.
Oh man. I guess I'll ask the king. So, based on my conversation with the wizards, we've learned that the young women being kidnapped by this magical castle being whoever's doing this have noble or royal blood. Do you know of any location or noble or royal families that have daughters who are still with their families who could be potential targets?
I only know within my own kingdom. I have a whole country to run.
Still useless.
He kind of he's very serious for a moment. He's just like, I beg of you, the reward I promise is still yours if you find my daughter. Anything within my power as sovereign of this kingdom is yours.
We will do what we can. Last we know that it was last seen on the eastern continent, so perhaps we'll start there.
I hate long journeys.
It's literally next door.
So as luck would have it, though, one of the soldiers runs in. He runs in, bursts through the door, and he's like out of breath and clinking everywhere. And he's like, "Your message, your message, your message."
Calm down. Take a breath.
Slow
So
down,
we
Porky
can
the Pig.
understand you.
He kind of like he composes himself for a moment. And he's, "The castle's been spotted."
Tally ho! Where? Tell us where. Lead us there. Take me to the castle!
So he tells you that it's at the edge of the kingdom, about half a day's journey. So it'll take you a couple hours. Not half a day. It'll take you a few hours to get there. But if you were walking, it'd be half a day.
And the fog's about to lift, right? Or like we have a few hours before the fog.
You have about 4 or 5 hours where the fog lifts. And you also know that when the fog disappears, the castle does too.
We have to go
We must find
now.
horses and leave. Be on our way.
The king offers you anything. Horses, of course. I'll give you the fastest.
I'm gonna pull out some horsehair and go frazzle, and a horse pops up.
In the middle of the room.
Yeah.
Oh!
Okay. So, like, are we led to like the horses and like we just like
Yeah.
jump on our horses at the like city?
Yeah, I mean, if there's any kind of preparation you'd like to make beforehand, but right now, yeah.
I need more arrows.
It's this horse's name, Shafrozel.
Alright, I asked the king to provide me with arrows.
Oh, you're given arrows from
Alright,
the armory.
cool. Then I'm just gonna say I'm
Do you have any scrolls for the journey?
Let's see.
Never know what's going to come in handy.
Let's see. Let us see.
snacks for the journey?
Pretzel for your thoughts.
Pretzel for your thoughts.
Well, this king has been useless so far.
Unfortunately, it does not offer you any scrolls.
Items.
Fairly well, then.
Can we have food?
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you guys have food already.
Time is of the essence. We have no time.
Damn it, I want to eat!
So you guys have like your own traveler's rations and whatnot.
Alright. Alright, so do we have to do checks to see if we can actually ride our horses?
I just went off blindly, so.
It's just hanging on, see whatever happens.
I got divination. We can make this work. I can know which way's north.
So you guys take about like maybe half an hour to prepare yourselves. And then the castle gates are open and you guys are outside and sure enough you can actually see it. This huge black thorny forest surrounding this huge castle.
It's like Sleeping Beauty.
Ominous.
Is there a giant dragon at the end? Okay, so I'm just gonna casually jump on my horse and start riding towards the castle.
Everyone make ride checks for
There
fun.
we go, okay.
Oh no,
Funsies.
not skilled!
16.
Oh, thank
19.
21!
Nat 19.
15.
And what do you add to it?
All of you
Were
if
you
you have
high
like,
skill?
Yeah, I got
we
19.
diddly nothing.
Yeah, everyone got above 10, you're fine.
Yep.
You manage to you ride with poise and grace and you're fine.
It's like a
Yeah.
fucking crap.
I'm good at
Oh, my spine!
Just like bouncing around. This sucks.
As you guys ride for a good hour and a half, and as you get to the edge of the forest, you jump off your horses and kind of investigate. They refuse to go any further. They kick up and neigh and like they
Frazzle, come on!
they refuse. They will not go any further.
Did I dispel him?
Fine.
Alright.
Do you get off him first? He just he fall on the ground.
Alright, I gracefully slide off my horse.
I do too.
As well as a happy
And then
can.
I slap it on the ass so it runs over.
Okay.
Stay here, little horsey. I'll be back.
It kind of just like. And as soon as like the other one runs off, it also runs off.
I am sad. My horsey friend is gone.
Our rogue friend is quite silent over there.
I'm just listening.
All right. Can I do an investigation check to see kind of what we learned from our supposed investigation?
Yeah.
Is that off wisdom? Wait.
I'd like to know. I see spellcraft check. Yes, we'll see if there's any kind of. I'll just go detect magic. Then is there magic involved?
As your eyes kind of like light up with like that purplish energy, the entire forest just engulfs in magic as well.
Oh dear, this is not good.
Alright, so what am I doing? Gather information, search, or spot?
Probably just search.
Okay.
Investigation is a 5th edition spell ability.
10.
10. Whatever you were trying to glean from it, you kind of like take a step back and look at it, and you just kind of look the entire area over. And not only do you not know where to start, but it spans for miles upward. It looks like, and you don't even know where to even begin.
I don't know what I'm looking at here. Alright.
I guess we proceed.
And as you say that, the trees kind of like bend and crack, and a pathway opens.
Responsive too.
Maybe
Perhaps
you
we
go
should
first.
stay here. I say out loud.
I draw my sword and go out.
Oh,
Okay.
I happily go through.
I do the thing where you're like
Okay.
walking carefully.
Okay.
Yep.
Hi,
I have my
charge
bow
forward.
and arrow ready.
I pick myself up off the ground. Proceed forward.
Do you ever just movement at all for being vulnerable? Or?
No, just your physical stats.
Okay, that's good at least.
You're still as nimble as you were when you were 20.
Hurts my knees though.
I'll take up the back of the group as the ranged character and just keep the wizards between us since they're squishy.
Okay. So as you guys you wander through the forest, you have that intense feeling like you're being watched. Okay.
Did we rest? Like, do we have full HP?
No.
Damn
Yes, I am definitely short some spells.
You have that intense
That's like
feeling
the
like you're
rest.
being watched, and as you kind of like look around, you see the shadows kind of dance across the trees. The moonlight does not penetrate this area, so you're walking in like fog, and then as well as you see shadows kind of like.
I can cast light.
And you can, yeah.
Let me go see what it costs. Yeah, so.
First level or 0th level spell.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Would my low light vision can I see stuff? Or is it
There's
pitch black?
no light at all.
Okay.
There is it.
Totally blind.
Okay, first Okay. What do I roll for it?
It's one of those spells that just happens.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, light. There you go, guys.
So as you kind of hold your hand out and like conjure the light in your hand, it kind of coalesces into this bright spear. And while it does provide like some light, you notice that like it seems like the darkness itself is closing in around the spear, almost like trying to suffocate it, but not fully.
No.
And so you have a much dimmer light source, but enough to make your way forward.
Yeah.
Too old for this shit. How long do we meander through the forest?
Proceed.
Yeah. Do we get lost right away, or is it pretty
Oh,
straightforward?
you put by poisonous storms?
It's pretty straightforward. Despite the fact that you guys feel like you're being watched constantly, and you constantly see things kind of darting across the trees, especially when like with the new light source you have in front of you, like it makes it much more prominent. Like you see kind of like a shadow. It's like, oh, what's that? But then like it's just a tree. But the pathway continues to unfold before you on purpose by some kind of magic. Just spreads apart and like kind of guides you forward.
Just letting us in. We're walking to our doom. Cool.
This is fun.
How are you guys doing?
So what did you do before you adventured? I always like hearing people's stories.
Well, I'm basically just a mercenary. Find whatever work I can, and for a short time now, I've been encountering different people and taking odd jobs and killing monsters, apparently.
What about you, roguish friend?
I used to be a thief. Not so much anymore.
For as long as I've known him, he moves silently and tries to steal everything he can. Not
keyword
always
there is
successful.
The keyword there is tries.
Often
Hey,
gets
if
in
you want to know what we're
trouble.
talking about, watch some past episodes.
Yeah. Shameless exploit of the child.
What about you, old man?
Oh, I've been through many a things. Great loss, great love, great sadness, great joy. Now I'm just trying to find a good place to die.
Well, there's a beautiful thorny garden right in front of you.
This does not seem
All
like a nice
around.
place.
Dark magic? Not your pepper soup?
Not that anybody asked me. But
We're getting to you.
I come from a great family. You know, I'm just out here to adventure and explore and make friendships.
Quite the prim and proper lad, isn't he?
Oh boy!
Adventure!
You're much too excited to be in this area.
This is fun!
And we continue to proceed.
Yeah,
The
if you guys
thorns.
are all done talking and you want to do anything else, okay. I'll advance the plot. So,
I'll casually eat snacks as we're walking through.
so as you guys kind of you walk through this forest, talking, getting to know each other a little bit, as you some of you just met, some of you kind of thrust together. There seems to be a break in the darkness as you continue to walk forward, and eventually the trees split apart, and you kind of like have to adjust your eyes for a second because it's so bright. This huge crystalline lake that's like letting off this kind of like shiny reflectiveness of the moon kind of like catches you off guard for a second. And at the center of this lake, this huge black castle.
I don't have walk on water.
Yeah, so it's surrounded by what? Like there's a moat kind of thing?
It's more like it's in the middle of an ocean, kind of. Or a small lake, rather.
Is there handy boats, little rowboats?
You don't know?
Oh, what do I have?
Alright.
What do I have?
Everyone
can
go ahead and make
search
spot checks.
for-
Oh,
spot
wonderful.
Oh
Oh no!
checks.
The natural
Yeah.
one. Now, almost everyone's done it.
Come on, Keith. Come on. Catch up. I'm pretty sure I failed that spot check.
Actually, I want the vodka.
I got a big old 7.
The 7. What did you get?
I got an 18.
What did you get?
24.
24.
Wait, I'm sorry. 25.
What do I add to my one?
Nothing. It's just a failure. It's a natural one. It's a natural one.
I failed that.
Mm-hmm.
We've all failed, except Keith.
So for you, also failing,
Yay.
you kind of like
I have to drink. I
You're-
have not been drinking for my fails. Shit.
your eyes are still kind of adjusting to the light, and so you don't really see anything. You kind of like wipe your eyes. You guys both notice that even though the water is crystal clear, and you can actually see down to the bottom. You catch ripples running across the surface still.
Ripples.
Is the water solid? I poke out and stick my shillelagh in it.
It is not. It's a water. It's
It's a
kind of
water.
it's the kind of movement where like something's inside of it, even though there's nothing in it.
Perhaps an illusion of some kind.
And then as you notice, there's probably something moving in the water you can't see. Vesper walks right off the edge into it.
The elusive Loch Ness. We found
Oh
it.
boy, I wonder what's in here.
He's kind of like looking down, like, huh, and then falls off the edge.
Bye, guys.
Everyone can make a dexterity check to try and save him.
Oh.
Just add your dex modifier to it.
Wait, what does that mean?
Just roll a d20, add your dex modifier to it.
Okay, dex mod. Okay. What?
Oh my god!
I really failed to save you. I just like dive in and just like hit knock myself out.
Just jump in.
It was a 14 fast enough.
What did you get?
11.
So,
See what you started?
I'm going to switch d20s. This one's doing really well.
so you guys
Are
do
you trying to
both.
fail now?
A little bit.
You guys do both manage
You can
to
just
react fast enough to
I
try
need
and
to catch it.
catch Vesper. But unfortunately, as you do, Alexia also just rushes in to try and help her, and also falls in. And you have kind of like this cartoon-style chain going on right now, where Alexia is holding Vesper, trying to not let her fall in, and you're trying to hold Alexia and not let her fall in.
Not strong enough!
Go ahead and make a strength check since you're at the end.
5.
And we all fall in.
It's water. It's not like you can't swim.
What if we can't?
You're now
What if I fail that too?
I'm halfway.
The Lioness is gonna
Like,
eat us.
you're like,
That was a shot.
Drowning, guys!
I think we're all drowning.
Oh, it's just me. It's just me
Okay.
drowning.
go ahead and make another strength check.
We just fell in far enough for Vesper's face to be in the water.
Mm-hmm.
12.
12. You manage to pull them back out more. You get onto the shore just fine. You get onto the shore just fine. You two are still suspended in the water, so you guys can make a strength check together now. Whoever makes it gets advantage.
Oh no! There it is. There it is.
Yes, that was the one I just used.
Like
How appropriate for Seamus.
11.
Oh,
You just hear this snap, crackle, pop from my
like-
back.
Crippling pain.
Do it.
It's so good. Catch up. I'm already at 2, so you guys gotta get
so
up.
luckily Mikhail succeeded, where you failed. He manages to pull you back as you kind of lose all traction and fall forward.
Oh man, it's gonna take a while.
But you do manage to pull him and Alexia onto the shore.
I wanted to switch
And
dice
you, by the
again.
scruff of your neck, are also just kind of dangling off the water.
Ooh, this is a close one.
Just kind of all collapse onto the shore, just like, ha.
That shouldn't have been that difficult.
No more walking off edges, Vesper.
Oh my god.
Any ideas on how to get across?
I'm a 2 spot for it. I already found this one.
That's how we got in the water in the first place.
That was Vesper's fault. I want to try and find a boat. I want to be on a boat.
Wait, what was in the middle of the water?
Castle.
The castle we're
I
trying
want
to
to
get
pluck a
to.
stone from the shore.
Gonna see
Okay.
rocks now.
Oh, I'd say there's probably a rock around, sure.
I will throw it at the castle.
Make a strength check.
Just go straight through
I'm
it.
just gonna chuck it.
Yeah, 20. Aw.
8.
8.
Cool.
You kind of throw it and it moves like... You lose your throw a little bit and it kind of it hits the shore and then bounces off into the water.
What's the distance from the shore to the castle?
You don't know. It looks like it's really, it's like a small lake that you guys are in right now.
Swimmable?
It looks very far away, but also...
Very close.
I'm also going to throw a stone.
What kind of
Okay,
witchcraft
go ahead
is
and make a
this?
check.
I'm going to knowledge arcana it.
Okay.
6.
Ooh, 15.
15. You gather enough of all your experience together. You gather enough that it's some kind of illusion magic. You glean from earlier that not only did you see something clearly move in the water, but there's nothing there. There's an illusion making it seem like this is a clear lake, but there's stuff being concealed in it, basically.
I'm not sure about any of this. I don't want to go swimming in water that I don't know what's in.
Can you, as
You,
the
like, make a
host,
bridge
can you
or
make
something,
a
old man?
boat or something appear to get us across?
Oh yes, let me just pull a rabbit out of my ass.
You pulled a horse out of your ass earlier! A boat should not be any different.
You like a tiny hut? I could make one of those.
We could rest on the shore, regain our HP, our health, and determine what to do.
As you guys kind of bicker amongst yourselves about how to get across, everyone make a spot check again.
Ooh.
14.
Will you add to it?
Did you say 8?
Nat 20, drink.
Oh
Oh.
shit.
Will you add to it?
Wisdom.
Wisdom? Okay, so I got 9.
21.
21. Okay.
Also
So-
21.
Everyone but Vesper. As you guys are kind of arguing amongst yourselves, everyone but Vesper notices that as you're talking about a way to the cross, this bridge is kind of just forming out of nowhere and appearing step by step, and it leads all the way to the castle.
Is it like next to us?
Yeah, it's like it connects from the
I poke it
shore
with my sword.
to the castle. It's solid.
Gee, Sky's looking real mighty nice
It's
tonight.
I do this until I get to the castle.
I can't see the
Check
sky.
every step. Oh dear.
Do you guys follow him at all? Or?
Might as
Are
well.
we
Aren't
going
we
across
getting
the bridge?
anything done sitting here?
Vespa, follow behind us, whether you can see the bridge or not. There.
Perhaps it's best to keep the elf in between
Yeah, you
us.
turn around, you're like, wow, there's a bridge!
Oh, look at that! What?
I'll, it looks like Mikhail's leading, and I'll take up the back. And keep the wizards between us.
Those squishy wizards.
No dying, old man. Vespa, don't fall off the edge.
Literally everyone in our party likes to sit back.
It's true.
Should have been a barbarian in my youth.
Alright, so heading towards the castle.
So you guys walk for about 10 minutes. It's a long spanning bridge. Mikhail checking every step of the way that's still solid. And sure enough, every step is solid until you reach the entrance of the castle. And as you guys are wondering also how to open this thing, like it also like these doors just kind of spread apart.
Nifty.
This place is awful responsive. I do not like
They
this.
really want
This is
us to
either
listen.
this is either a horrible trap or a design.
Is it dark
in it.
inside or is there torches?
Definitely.
It is dark right now.
We're about to die.
Do I see any light like down further or is it just all complete
It's just
darkness?
darkness right now.
Can someone
The only light
throw
comes
a
from the
light
reflectiveness
bulb
of the
in?
moon on the water surface right now.
I cast light.
Okay.
I
You do so,
can
and
see.
it kind of illuminates the first few feet of the castle entrance. It just looks like solid stone on the ground.
Okay.
Can you take a break?
Been an hour and a half.
Hmm?
Been an hour and a half.
You-
I'd like to go to the bathroom.
Forbidden.
How's everyone else feeling?
I'm just gonna
I
pee
got
on myself
pee.
right now.
Alright.
All that water me.
Alright, so we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Find out what the spooky castle has in store for everyone. Yeah, we'll be right back. So if you want to mute that. Hello! Welcome back.
Hello. Alright, where are we at?
You guys
Terrifying.
just opened up the gates to the castle. It opened by itself, and Vesper created an orbital light to light the first few feet for you guys. And you guys are staring into this kind of like shadow, illuminate, darkness.
Off into this mysterious hell we're about to enter.
I'm game.
Let's do it!
We're just like, yeah!
Yeah!
Let's do it.
Off your phone.
Michaela, are you with us?
Cowboy
looking
boots
up
and
the
lassos.
I mean, we did just get off horses.
That's true.
/ walk who knows how long through this
So what you notice
terrible
is,
forest.
as you guys start kind of walking along, the torches on both sides of the wall just light all by themselves.
This place is getting creepier and creepier.
Puts out the light.
Can we just leave?
Does it unlight as like we go, or is it like keeping pace with us, or does it remain lit like behind us?
It's basically as soon as you pass by the torches, they flare up.
Okay, so that's not good. So that means there could be a lot of people in here.
Oh,
They're definitely
boy.
sensing our movement. It's like
This
magical reaction.
This castle is self-aware. It is a trick. Be on your guard at all times.
It has self-awareness. It has mastered the existential crisis.
It is aware it is a castle.
Creepy.
And should you guys even like kind of stop for a few moments, like to see if it keeps pace with you? Like it just continues lighting, so it's not
Okay,
more
so
so
it's
attract. It's just as you guys are walking, it's creating the aesthetic. But if you guys stop, it just continues. To...
Is it just a long hallway of torches, or
Yeah, like,
Yes.
are there any like doors, or is it just leading to one like massive?
I cast
Terrifying
detect hidden
door.
doors
Oh.
because I am a divination wizard. And this is the shit I do.
Secret doors, secret pathways, flank the enemy.
All right. So we can do this for 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
So just any hidden door, just
There's the first round the absence of secret doors. So if there's none around, I'll know,
okay. There are no secret doors. Around
Okay.
currently.
and I'll know if one pops up in the next 5 minutes.
Cool.
But it only then after that spell duration's gone. and I'm just like every other Joe Schmuck in the rest of the world.
Every other Seamus. Alright, so we proceed. Or at least I proceed.
So you guys walk down this hallway for a couple of minutes, and then you reach this long corridor end, and there are these two wooden doors, very ornate, lots of detail drawn on them, handles gold with like kind of like these carvings on them. These are very detailed doors.
Carvings of what?
Cursed
creatures? Flowers? A thorny forest?
Actually, one handle has like the etchings of like some kind of demon on it, and the other handle is like the etching of like some kind of like celestial creature.
I twist them
So, like,
both at the
demons and
same
angels?
time.
Alright, so the doors open. You come face to face in this large kind of room with two stairways leading both up to the same floor. They just go up both sides and come up like this.
What is this, a pair of ovaries?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I knew where you were going with that.
I'm a Disney fanatic, so it's like that double just, Beauty and the Beast. Just, okay, sorry.
And the torches on the walls continue just until they're all just lit up around. In the center of this room, however, is a figure wearing a white dress, black hair kind of covering its face, some kind of humanoid thing on the ground.
But we don't know what the princess looks like.
Nobody asked.
This could be her, could not be her.
For all my wisdom, I've overlooked this one thing.
You're not smart.
I will make a mental note now to get a good description of this individual, then we'll ask later.
I guess that's why they asked for a current photo of a missing child.
We're the medieval era, there is no photos. What is this?
Sketchings? Wooden carvings of their faces?
Can I just carry a bust around?
Okay.
Missing person bust.
I'm cautious because it's super creepy.
I'm not. I go right up to him.
Son of a bitch.
Alright, so while you're kind of like looking around, just like very carefully, Vesper walks right past you and is just like, nope, and just walks up to it.
Vesper, no!
What do
Come
you do?
back!
What do you do?
I'm gonna go up to the person, I'm gonna lean down, I'm gonna tap him on the shoulder.
Alright, you do so, and as you do, this huge wall of flame erupts in front of you. Make a reflex save.
Oh, shit.
Oh, sweet bejesus.
Jesus.
Oh, what do I have to do it?
Reflexes right
Oh, reflex. So 4, it would be 14.
14. So you just barely nimbly dodge out of the way as these flames erupt in front of you. You kind of like jump backwards, like, whoa!
Whoa there!
And the flames last for a few moments, and then they fade back into the ground, and the body is gone.
So there's like a wall between Vesper and the body, and then it just like comes down and there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Okay. Look what you did!
Hold on, it's not clearly Vespa's fault. I mean,
You set off the trap.
I mean, I was gonna look for it, but
way to let the rogue do his job!
I'm sorry, guys. Nobody was doing anything, so I figured I'd take initiative.
No, because we were being cautious of the creepy, grudged-looking chick on the floor.
Is the grudge chick still there? Are we having this discussion with her? Just
Oh, no,
No,
the body
she's
is
gone.
gone.
Okay.
The flames die down.
That would have been
So
weird.
we're just in an
So is it
empty
just-
room now.
is it just like the staircases that go up, or are there like a door on the left and right too?
You do see doors on the left and right.
I'm gonna go to the door on the left.
Okay.
Can I open it?
You can certainly try.
I try to open it.
It does not budge.
Ooh, I have a spell for that.
Okay.
Do you have knock? Because I don't.
I do.
Thank God.
Unless you're gonna open it.
I'm trying to pick it up.
Okay.
Go thief!
Do it.
Hopefully.
But no.
Does an 18 succeed?
Oddly enough, no. As you actually hear the tumblers click perfectly. Like, I got this. And you go to open the door, and it's still stuck.
Must
Oh,
be
screw this
magic.
door. I want to go to the other door and try and open it.
As you try to open that door, you hear
I look around. Who's clapping?
Slow clap!
you look up at the top of the staircase and you
Yes, thank you,
see
Seamus. We know.
this humanoid-looking entity wearing like these very nice clothes, very very nice robes, kind of like a elaborate gold design and him on them. Long red hair going down to his back, elven in appearance, and he just starts clapping and starts beginning to walk down the stairs.
Greetings, I say aloud.
Well met.
We have been what that bloody hell kingdom were we coming from?
Vanden. The kingdom of Vanden.
We have been tasked with the king of Vanden to acquire his daughter, or at least what has happened to his
Part
daughter.
of her, if necessary.
All we need really is a finger to shut him up.
A dead body if she's already gone and far away.
And
But of course, the princess is my guest. As are all of you.
I want to sense motive.
good call.
You're being super creepy about this, sir.
Do a disadvantage though.
Whoever you are.
That one was a 19. Like, 219.
Damn.
You get this very kind of arrogant, calm demeanor from him as he continues to slowly walk down the steps. You feel no murderous intent or any kind of malice. Just this very, like, carrying himself with lots of pride kind of thing.
When he said guest, did he mean it in... Can I tell if he meant it in like a... They're my hostages kind of guest, or is it just like actual guest?
You can't... That word kind of didn't really, like...
I have a spell for this, and I'm running out of them real quick.
Okay.
I'm going to go detect thoughts. He gets to make a will save.
Okay.
DC 16.
Natural 18.
Dang.
Well, he knows I tried to do that because it was pretty obvious.
So as you kind of, like, move your fingers around and cast your spell...
Yeah. I see in your mind.
He's
like, no, you don't.
It actually physically hurts you when you try and look into his mind. You get like this throbbing pain in your head. Not enough to deal damage to you, but it just...
Uncomfortable, creepy uncle
Headache.
sensation.
Yeah.
Brain freeze.
And you know he knows what you did, because he kind of just looks at you and smirks.
I know what we're dealing with now, or at least I have a better idea. With one spell. Oh dear.
Are we in a different room? Like,
No, we're in the same room
Is
with
there a
the
map
triple
for
stairs.
this?
No, it's
I
a
just-
different room. I just didn't draw a map for this.
Oh, okay.
But,
Okay, so he's currently, like, moving towards us, like, walking down some creepy staircase
mhm.
towards us.
Question: What is
Alright.
everybody's alignment here?
Alright.
Oh.
Chaotic good. Not 100% sure what that means.
Okay, there's the best way to describe this is the lawful good person will call a taxi whenever he's drunk. The chaotic good person will just run home, and the neutral good person will stay sober.
Alright, well, I'm not running home. I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know.
Okay, well I'm just determining if
Um,
somebody's gonna do something crazy because this could be the villain.
Oh,
I
I would
definitely
be
think
chaotic
he is.
good then.
Chaotic neutral.
I'm gonna ask him
Oh my
where
God.
if
We can expect anything from this man.
pretty much, yeah. I say if we are your guests as well as the princess, tell us where she is.
She is safe. She is where she needs to be.
Diplomacy check.
Are we where we need to be?
I think that you've stumbled into something you don't quite understand.
Then explain it to us. What's going on here?
What you doing?
What's up though?
What are we doing here?
He says, he kind of like gets this look on his face and there's no need to explain anything, the corpse is anyone's initiative.
Oh.
Oh, nat 20, drink.
Oh shit. Right, 2025, I know you, but...
12.
well,
25.
What do we add to it?
dexterity. What'd you get?
30?
So you'll add
15.
3 to it.
3?
Yeah.
9.
9. Okay, so natural 20, 12,
15.
15. Okay.
So mine's technically like a 25.
Yeah, you're first regardless.
Well,
No
I'm
one
just
else
saying,
rolled a
if
natural
you
20.
roll higher than
Watch me a natural
you're
one.
an action.
I hope
Nine?
not. So you got 12? Okay.
And I was 9.
I love that you actually like brought a flask with you. So classy.
I actually got this for Halloween. I was doing a Rick and Morty costume, and I just had to have like a prop.
Nice. I dig it.
We approve. That's good.
Alright, so Alexia, what do you want to do?
I feel like this isn't gonna go though. I'm like,
He does not make any move
Like
to attack
halfway.
you. He just says that and just stands there.
so he just says that we're corpses and he's not gonna tell us anything. Cool. Do I start this fight?
Yes.
I don't want to take more damage than I need to, so I'm just gonna do rapid fire with my longbow.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
Oh, what's the distance?
You're within range, so you're point blank shot.
6.
Okay, go ahead. Like it
Oh,
now.
that's my first one. And 3.
3.
None of them hit.
You only have a +1.
Yeah.
So, well, she has more than +1, but
No, it's +1 for hit and damage.
yeah, but you also have your BAB and your dexterity.
The fuck? What am I supposed? Okay, what's everything that I add to my attack?
Base attack bonus
Or my hit roll.
base attack bonus is everything you throw to your to hit plus your corresponding modifier, either your strength or your dexterity. So in a ranged attacks case, it is a dex.
But you
Okay,
have, like,
so
a
I
plus-
roll and then add my BAB and my dex?
Yeah.
Yes.
You should have like your attack bonus.
Oh my god, guys, I would have been hitting this whole fucking time.
Jesus. We're professionals here at Drunkards and Dragons.
hey, I'm still a noob, okay, still learning shit. Okay, so my first roll, what did that come out to?
It was a 6 and then a 2.
That was a 6. Okay, so I rolled a 5, plus 1 would be the 6, plus 9, 15?
Now that it's hit
If
still.
I'm doing my math right? 6,
So as you
7, 9, 10, 11, 12,
quickly use your dexterity
15.
to pull 2 arrows out of your
So
quiver
still- no.
as you fire both of them off, and his form.
You should have like a plus 10 to hit within 30 feet.
Yeah.
For my attack bonus?
Yeah.
Son of a... Okay. Okay, so then 16... 21.
21.
Yeah, so it's my attack bonus plus
No.
the roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This plus your die roll. And that's it.
Okay, that's it. Okay, so then it would still be 15 and 12, I think.
Okay,
For
so
both of
neither of
those.
those hit still.
Okay.
So as you quickly pull 2 arrows out of your
Okay,
quiver and
okay.
notch them both and let them loose, his form, he doesn't move at all. His form kind of like shimmers a little bit,
I know exactly how to do this shit.
and so as you let them loose, it kind of like barely graze past both times. Surely you can do better than that.
Well, maybe. Now that I know how I'm at
You're at Mikhail.
How far away am I from him? Because I'm on that
This is
right
so
door,
sad.
and he's like
You're like
on the
40 feet
staircase.
away.
like 16
40?
feet in.
Yeah.
You
I would
can
have
charge,
such a
which is a
better
double
percentage.
move and then attack.
Yeah, second of it. I guess we're charging it.
Okay, go ahead, roll attack.
So it's plus 2 to hit, so 9, 6, 23.
23, that does hit.
Takes 8 damage.
8 damage. So as you ready yourself and will pull your sword out and just rush at him, you made connection and you felt it hit a physical thing. But then when you turn around to look at how much damage you did, you see that he's tiny scratch on his arm.
That's cool.
And he goes,
That's cool.
Oh boy.
Seamus, what you got?
Go to sleep. And he has to make a save.
Okay. What's your DC?
16.
16 naturally.
He is wide awake then.
So again, as you kind of like move your fingers around, try and cast some kind of spell.
And that is all my first levels.
Oh, man.
Wait,
He kind of gives you this like, bitch please
can you only use one of your spells?
per round, yeah, unless you're hasted, which none of you are.
You have the meta magic quicken spell though.
That's true.
It's my turn?
It is my turn actually.
Oh, okay.
We're going to get messed up.
Yeah, we are.
So, go ahead and make me a will save with disadvantage.
Me?
Yes.
Row Raggy. Roll it again.
7.
7. So,
Is he gonna,
too
like, possess my
quick to even comprehend how fast this entity is. He suddenly like shimmers out of existence and appears next to you, and he kind of puts his hand onto your head, and then suddenly your whole world goes black.
I'm just gonna sit like that.
You picture yourself. You see yourself on that night your parents were murdered as your full-grown adult self, but you see them being murdered from far away. You see your tiny child self running away, and you try and cry out and you try to save them, but nothing happens. And you're reduced to 0 hit points.
What? He does not. What? Okay.
Which makes it your turn.
Oh boy!
Come on,
After witnessing
do it.
that, I'm like, okay.
I suggest a scorching ray.
That's exactly what I was about to do.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hit him with Scorching Ray.
Go ahead and roll the attack.
15 plus
With base attack bonus and dexterity.
Dexterity 3.
So 20?
And then base attack is
2.
2.
Two.
So
20.
20.
That'll hit the touch, yes.
Nice. And then what is it again?
46.
4d6. Alright, so let's see. 4, 3, 7, 6, and 1.
And 1. So how much total? 14.
14.
So as you launch your finger out and like let loose this bolt of fiery energy, he kind of holds up his hand, and it like collides with his palm, and he kind of like pushes it to the side. His hand's still scorched, but otherwise.
I'm like, whoa. Okay, buddy.
Mikhail, you're up.
How far away is he now?
You're right next. Oh, he's actually 15 feet away from you now.
15? Okay, I'll just walk up to him and hit him.
Okay.
Just casually.
From behind.
Okay, go ahead.
Just a lot of enthusiasm.
15.
That'll miss.
Dang.
Seamus, you're up.
Drink.
We have one more of these. Ocean Ray.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you drink for your fail?
She didn't fail.
No, she isn't.
You. Yeah, that's what I thought.
I know this doesn't
Probably
hit
not.
because I can metagame a little bit, but a 6.
A 6 does not hit.
Yes.
Okay.
So with supernatural speed, as you kind of launch your attack at him, with supernatural speed, just kind of dodges out of the way
This is outrageous.
and puts it up to my turn.
So glad I
Go ahead and make a will
got
save with disadvantage.
Ooh.
That one's a 16.
Okay,
That one's a 22, so 16.
16. So again, he places his hand on your head this time, and you see you're taken back to that moment when like you saw your entire family being murdered, your sister being taken.
Yes,
Everything that happened to you, you're taken back to that moment, and you try and yell out to help them, but nothing happens, as you were also reduced to 0 hit points.
Damn, dude.
Wow.
Your turn.
Good luck, guys.
Wizards!
Okay, I'm gonna go with magic missile.
Okay.
Can't go wrong there.
Do I have to roll for that one?
No,
Or-
I'm just hit.
Okay,
so you roll a 2d4,
2d4.
and then add 1 to each of them. 1, so 2.
And then 1.
So 4 total.
Yeah, 4.
As you launch out your magic missile, they kind of collide with this person, and they definitely hit, but he doesn't seem fazed by it. He keeps walking towards you. Seamus?
Bartholomew, go! I send my weasel at him. Natural 20!
Wonderful.
Bartholomew does 2 damage.
I mean, it crits, so...
2 damage! Bartholomew always does 1.
So as he begins walking towards you, and the magic missiles collide with him, and nothing happens, he continues to walk towards you, and all of a sudden your weasel just charge! And actually this catches him off guard as it bites into his hand. He's like, what the hell? He kind of just like flings him away.
And there we go, that's my turn.
Go ahead and make a will save.
Oh boy.
14 plus 7 is 21.
21, that actually is good enough. So he tries to do the same to you, and your mind is kind of like clouded, and then you kind of snap back into reality. You're like, no. And then he's just like, impressive. That is his turn. Go ahead.
That's my weasel.
Okay. I'm gonna go with acid arrow.
Okay.
Let's see if I can remember what that does. There it goes. 2d4 points of damage. So I don't think I have to roll for that one.
No, I think we determined that you just
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
4
Okay.
and cool. Let's try that again. 2, so I do 6 damage.
6 damage. Alright, as you kind of like coalesce the acid arrow out and you kind of fling it at him. He's focused on Seamus entirely right now, so he doesn't even flinch when it hits him. Go ahead.
You will not have this old codger so easy! And I try to bop him in the head with my shillelagh. I got a 14 plus 2, 16.
That does not hit.
He nimbly dodges then.
Not even.
Or even I'm just way too slow and decrepit, just kind of like yeah.
Sees it coming a mile away. It's just like, yeah. Alright, so straight up attack you. What's your AC's 10, isn't it?
Yes, it is 10.
Alright. So he attacks you with just his hand as he just kinda you see these nails glint on his fingers, he and goes straight through your chest, and you are reduced to 0 hit points as well.
Oh my god. It's down to me, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing very
You don't have to
well.
mark it down. Go ahead.
I don't know what else I can do.
You've watched all of your party members fall.
You can run. Save yourself.
I'm gonna use Ray of Frost.
Okay.
We're down to the 0 level.
This is my last attack spell, guys. Let's go see what this does. 1d3 of damage.
Just roll a d4 minus 1.
A 2.
A 2.
I do 2 points.
So as you blast him with this ray of cold air, again, he's not even phased by it. Things walking forward to you.
I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Go ahead and make a will save.
You poke the beast.
Time to go.
What do I add to it?
Your will modifier. You should this says will save straight up.
Oh, okay. So that's 6. So I am at 14.
14. You suddenly your whole world goes black as you see your happy little family that you come from, not a care in the world, all being viciously murdered, and your village being razed to the ground.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Every happy thing in your life taken away from you.
Oh man.
I was gonna fuck this kid up.
As you are reduced to 0 hit points. And then suddenly all 4 of you wake up outside, looking up at the starry night.
Well, that was fun.
I don't remember having that much to drink.
What happened?
To do a spot check.
Let's not do that again, guys.
12.
What are you looking for?
The Big Dipper.
You do not see the Big Dipper.
Damn.
You're not even sure which one it is at this point.
Wait, are we at full
I
health,
would like
or
to
what's
make
happening?
a knowledge the plains check.
You guys are both back to the points you were when you first entered the
Yeah.
forest.
Knowledge the
Oh,
plains.
Okay.
Ooh. 25 to attempt to figure out if we have been was that like an alternate reality, was that like a different plane of existence that just popped in here and popped out.
You determine that definitely happened on this plane of existence. And even as you kind of feel your chest to see where you were impaled, it feels painful, but you look and there's no mark there.
What mighty sorcery is this? I am clearly in over my head.
I think we all are.
The castle's still in sight. You guys wake up in front of it, basically. The bridge,
They
though.
just kicked us out.
Is that all an illusion?
I vote we don't go back in there.
Is the bridge still there?
Yes.
This is like fucking Groundhog Day.
Do we remember anything? We just.
You remember all of it.
Okay.
You remember all of it. Everything you saw, still fresh in your mind.
Do I have all my spells back, or are all those gone?
You did cast them. You try and conjure your magic, and you find that you can't.
I have 0 level magic, also.
Oh, yeah. I don't have any spells either.
I'm about as useful as a poopy flavored lollipop.
Same.
Such a great thing.
You guys kind of look around and get your bearings, and you actually notice that there's a fire next to you.
I would like to rest so I can be useful.
I think we should all take a rest.
You also see a figure, kind of robed and cloaked, hunched down by the fire. He's kind
I'm
of
asking, who are you?
poking it. He goes, so you're awake.
Who are you?
Ask again.
Just an old fool.
I know them. I'm one too.
I'm probably a bit older than you, old timer.
Don't doubt it, elf.
Are you older than me?
Yes, elf.
Why are you all looking at me?
Because you're the halfie.
Fruit.
Yeah, but we don't know what he is. What is he?
You don't know?
What does he look like?
How did we
His
get
face
here?
is
You
obscured by
know?
shadow. You're here because you're his new playthings.
Who's new playthings?
The master of this castle.
Who
Who's
is
the
he?
master?
Well, I have been traveling a long time and I've seen a great many things and have been introduced to things I did not believe were possible. This is, again, one of those times where I thought I had seen all the surprises in my life, and I'm willing to hear your explanation of it.
Can you explain what's going on here? Who is the master of this castle?
Well, I hope you have time for a long story.
As long as we can rest alongside the fire with you. We will listen to you.
Sit down and enjoy.
Just hear his knees like cracking.
I have been chasing the master of this castle for longer than I know. The years have blurred together. The moments fleeting. I do not know where he comes from or what he is. But he took everything from me. And I swore I would not die until I took his life. Adventurers like you are his favorite playthings. He lures you in, and then lets you go.
Why? Why let us go?
He enjoys the suffering of ants, I guess. He fancies himself above all of us. Maybe he's bored.
But why take the nobility?
Nobility.
The young girls.
All part of the game.
Probably suckers us in. We're dealing with an entity far beyond our mortal comprehension, it would seem.
Who are you? Why are you following him?
Yes, precisely. That is a good question. What lot do you have to chase something that you can never hope to catch?
A vendetta. I can't rest until it's fulfilled.
What happened?
It's been a long time since I talked about it. I don't... Perhaps it's best left in the past.
It's obviously not in the past if you're still here.
I don't know how long it is, or how long ago it was. It's been a long time since I've even thought about this, but he came to us much like he does to everyone. Passing noble, traveling merchant. He takes on many guises. We welcomed him to our village, gave him hospitality. We sicked his fiends on us, transforming them these horrible creatures. He took my daughter, my wife, everything. And so I cannot rest until he is gone.
This single entity, as you call him, whatever it is responsible for the fog that plagues this entire world.
Yes.
My God. What is this, Armageddon?
Do you have any idea how to defeat him?
If I knew that, I would have already.
Do you have any clues?
Surely, as one man, you would not be able to alone. So why try?
I cannot rest until he is dead. I made a promise.
Is he even of the mortal plane?
Mortal, no, but he can be defeated. I'm sure of it. I've seen him bleed.
By what?
I belong to an ancient paladin order. Fighting beasts of the night like him is what I do. Holy magic does affect him.
Do either of you have holy magic?
I work in the synchronicities of the universe and exploit them for my own purposes. This is not of any divine being.
No.
Precisely, no.
No.
A simple no would have done, I suppose.
Thank
but
you.
Well,
This sucks.
so what? We just get toyed with until he's bold with us and sends us on our way.
He enjoys seeing his toys struggle.
Struggle we have.
I struggle to stand up from where I'm sitting.
He kind of chuckles to himself.
I've been through enough shit already. I'm tired of this. I'm going to go confront him again. Crackle pop my way to my feet.
So, as you stand up, he says, wait. And he kind of, stands up and walks past you, and he grabs some burnt, broken, black twigs from the ground, tosses them towards the castle. And there's a certain point where they are in the air, and then they just kind of, disintegrate into dust. And then this purplish barrier kind of flashes and forward, and then settles back down to nothing. That's not how the game works.
We play by his rules, then, I suppose.
So now I suppose the point is to find a way to get into the castle and confront him again. I take it you guys were not strong enough the first time.
Considering.
Oh, there's those two natural ones!
Oh man! Considering we ended up on our faces, knocked out outside of the castle, I would assume we failed. Things are rubbing it in our faces.
I was the last to go down.
Prissy goddamn elves.
Do you have any suggestion on how to get back in?
Finding a way to destroy this barrier, I suppose, would be the only way.
I'm going to sit there and I'm going to light a pipe and I'm going to smoke down.
Okay.
Would you consider joining our party?
I have my own path to take.
Oh, you selfish bastard.
I suggest you take your own as well. Take your lives, what's left of them, and get out of here.
We're on a mission.
Well, no.
There's a young lady needing our help.
We found out exactly where she's at.
Seamus, quiet.
She's a guest
We
there.
need a body to bring back to the king. Dead or alive, we need something.
If you want to walk through that barrier of disintegration, go for it. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell that king exactly what happened. We got our asses kicked. Your daughter's in that castle. End of story. And I puff
Not
on my
good
pipe.
enough. I need what the king can give me. And in order to do that, to get the information I need from him, I need to bring him something. Preferably her alive, but if she's dead, so be it. But he needs her body. And I intend to bring it back.
I'm not one to stop you.
I admire your fight, girl.
It's all I have left in the world.
Adventure.
And I wish you luck.
You've ever dealt with magical portals? I don't know how these bloody goddamn things work.
Nope.
It's worth a shot. Somebody had to ask him. Wait. Hold on. You're the one who wants to take him down, or at least find the princess's body, right?
Yes.
I have something. I don't know if it's going to work, or it'll even, but I got a scroll here. I cast it on you, you'll be able to fly. You can... Potentially, if the barrier has a wall and a limit, you should be able to go up, over, and through. I have no idea. After that, you'll be on your own. Tyler, your decision.
I cannot defeat this creature alone.
Well, worth a shot.
Are none of you willing to go with me?
I'm in it.
As I have said, I am old and tired and need rest before I can be of any use to anybody. I must study my books.
That's true. I'm spellless.
I don't know how to get past the magical barrier.
We
I
are here to take rest.
I say we just
Gain our energy back.
walk away.
Go home.
You may not agree with it, but there's a lot of wisdom in what that man says. I've lived a long time. I've lived a long time by running the hell away from this shit.
So we rest.
Yeah, I mean, at least we're gonna sit here and rest.
I'm going to curl up in an old man ball and pass out.
Time to get some shut-eye.
So as you guys rest, all uneasy given the fact that you cannot relax in this area, you still have that creepy feeling something's watching you. But you do manage to get some sleep. And when you come to, you are in the middle of a field, nothing around you. Just laying out in the open field. No castle, no forest, it's just gone. And the person who you're talking to is also gone.
Fancy.
We lost our only lead.
Not true at all.
How shall we find the castle again?
Easy. We find the next nobility.
We tried that.
We didn't have enough time. We had X amount of time to get to Y, and you're happy and you don't understand math. I understand.
You're happy?
Then where do you suggest we go?
Back to the castle and report what we found.
Nothing.
Precisely, but we found out where the princess
Found
is.
an unconscious, grudgy-looking girl on the floor of a mysterious...
Maybe this time we'll
terrifying
actually
castle.
ask what she looks like.
Yeah. Good idea. Good idea.
We go back.
Useful information.
We just go up to her and be like, so, what does she look like? You know, not that we don't know or anything, but just in case, why don't you tell us?
Yes, can I see the missing head bust?
Well, unless we can conjure up some horses, we're walking back.
I can conjure up a horse. Hold on, I had to prepare that nonsense. I only prepared to that once. So I got my horse.
Well, as the feeble old man.
I'm just gonna start walking back to the castle.
Yeah, we're just walking.
Who wants shotguns?
Wizards get it! We'll be there before you guys.
You guys ride off without
Hell yeah!
So you get back in like 3 hours.
We're just sauntering along. We'll get there when we get there.
You guys manage to get back in 3 hours. You guys get back in 6.
Sounds about right.
Do we do a little shopping while we wait?
I ain't got enough gold for any magical nonsense.
Oh, really? Did you buy a bunch of cool stuff?
I bought some scrolls.
Oh, okay.
But
I didn't buy anything.
Yeah, you're wealthy then.
I got $4,000.
It's true. After any shopping you guys want to do, feel free to do after.
Okay.
Or whatever. So, to save time, so you all eventually meet up back in Castle Vanden, or the city of Vanden, rather. After licking your wounds and discussing amongst yourselves what to do next, you all do come to the decision that you should probably report to the king. So, after you wait for them to get back, after you guys have been there for a little while...
Smoking my pipe weed.
I'll indulge in a little of that.
Seamus is a bit of a pothead.
It's for your glaucoma.
Your arthritis.
Your achy joints.
Helps me get around.
You let one of the city guards know that, yeah, we want to talk to the king. And you guys are the people he hired, so you're well known at this point. Like, of course, we will send for you. And a couple hours go by, and then finally one of the messengers sent you. He's like, I'll take you there now. He leads you into the hall where you guys first met, and there's still blood being cleaned off the wall and stuff like that. Still things being cleaned up. You're taken up to the king's room where he's in bed. Not sleeping, but he just hasn't really moved. His hair is messy. Still wearing his night clothes. He didn't look good. He hasn't really moved from the spot.
Your Highness. Pull your shit together.
When he sees you, he says he gets like a little bit of energy back in his step. He says, "What news do you have? Did you find her?"
Well,
depends.
you see.
What does she look like?
Raven black hair, green eyes,
Yes,
fair skin.
we found her. And then we lost.
What do you mean?
Okay, I'm going to explain this as simply as I can. As best I can.
Your daughter's gone. Just forget about her.
No. She has been captured by some kind of entity far beyond the machinations of my mortal mind can even comprehend. And the simple fact that we even got out of there in one piece was probably because it wanted us to.
I almost died.
I'm certain we all almost died.
I saw things no kid should ever see.
It appears to be some... Well, as far as I can tell, it is almost godlike.
Then we're doomed.
And it is solely responsible for that mist that plagues the entire world.
He kind of like sinks back into his bed. All is lost then. He just breaks down right there.
Quit being a blubbering little bitch, I say. Pull your shit together in your kingdom. We must mobilize forces against this. We must match it. Am I the only one that says this
No, I'm
and thinks this? I am old and on my deathbed and am waiting to die, and I'm the only one willing to fight for my life at this point.
Get your shit together. There you go.
Wizards!
Your Highness, if we do not join forces with other kingdoms and attack this entity, none of us will survive.
Even if we could mobilize such a force, it would take too long. Who knows who else would die in the process?
Are you kidding me? Everyone will die if we don't succeed. I have been around a long time, seen young men die for causes they don't believe in. If we do not fight now and end this, there will be no one left to stand and fight.
Lay down. Lay down.
Gotta make a diplomacy check, just for fun.
Francis!
Alright, charisma, here we go! 20, not natural!
He again gains more energy back, and you're right. We have to do something. I want you to tell me every detail, everything that happened. Don't spare any of it. We will find a way to stop this thing.
We got our asses kicked.
Yep.
Alright, recount everything. Fast forward!
So you see.
Yeah.
The thing is...
So after you guys recount your tale and everything that happened, well, I suppose the first step is to disable this barrier of some kind then that protects the castle. Then to find the castle will be the next step, I guess.
Well, I think Wouldn't it be the other way around? Find the castle and then break down the barrier.
We might not have to find it, so long as we know where it's going to show up next.
That would still be finding it.
Then it'll just appear where we're at, and then we can strike.
Not if it gets there first.
Well, that's alright, as long as we're there to meet it. We're going in circles here!
Just need to be in the same area as the castle and defeat it. Whatever that may take. All we know is that the entity can be damaged by holy magic.
Idea.
Light bulb.
With Seamus light bulb right here. What if he is the castle?
What makes you think that?
Just a weird hunch that I feel the entire time that thing was solely aware. At least I felt I was being watched. It was aware that we were there the entire time. We might not have to defeat the man. It might be easier to break down the walls.
But how do you suggest we go about this?
Siege equipment. I didn't think I need to say that out loud. Come on, Happy, catapults.
Come on, Happy, catapults. That was my favorite line now.
But about holy magic. If it works on the entity,
Bless +1 catapults.
It would work on the castle.
Who of us knows holy magic? None.
Fucking kidding me.
I'll take some levels in cleric if that's what it takes.
That's obviously out of the book.
Can't do the wizard team otherwise.
Yeah.
We have quite a journey ahead of us.
My libraries are at your disposal. Any knowledge you might need. My personal archives at your disposal.
An old man's luxury. Books.
Books, 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 books.
How old are you anyway?
Human or elf?
Yeah.
That's
Well, I've been wondering this entire time. Like, I have no idea how old you actually are.
An elf
Years! Like, how many rotations around the sun have we made?
Like, give or take 80 or so.
Oh, I'm about the oldest bastard here.
Could be more, could be less. I lost track. Honestly, it's been so long.
For elves, time really is fleeting.
It hasn't been long enough. I got a couple more 100 years on me, it's cool.
I'll expire before then as dust flies out my mouth.
So, what do we all want to do?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, shit, I'm all of a sudden out of character. There we go. We need to research and plan accordingly. Fortunately, I do not know the geography of the area or the relating kingdoms. I am not from here natively. We must find out where he'll strike next to attack the next adventuring party. Because we're not the next target. Somebody else is. He's going to try to lure somebody else in to be his playthings.
It won't be us.
I'd like to go to the library.
Okay.
Smartest man in the room. Says nothing, knows all.
So as you guys are kind of led into this huge library, like shelves and shelves of books, detailing things from like how to make something to like old stories and legends and things like that. Monster encyclopedias, all kinds of things of that nature.
I would like to delve into a book about angels and demons.
Okay.
And start there, and I assume this is where I start making some rolls.
Yes.
I'd like to hide under a table.
You do so.
He's gonna try to steal some shit, son.
Go ahead and do a high check.
I was gonna take a nap. Right. 25.
You very gracefully and naturally just slink under a table and begin taking a nap.
Alright, here we go. It's just a straight intelligence roll at this point,
Yes.
right? 15!
15?
It's not terrible.
What are you trying to glean from this book?
I want to know what that entity is, and I do remember him having a door with angels and demons, and I kind of want to try to bridge that connection a little bit.
Okay. You flip through the books and you spend a couple hours like reading this one particular book, and you kind of flip through it, and nothing that you read describes what you saw.
Some weird extra plane of being.
Okay, I'm gonna read a book about barriers.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
19.
19 plus
3?
plus 3, so 22.
Yes.
22.
And I'm trying to
It's all up to you at this point.
Excellent.
I'm trying to figure out if I can glean what kind of a barrier it was and how I can get past it.
Okay. You do read for a little while, and you do actually find that the description, it seemed like some kind of necrotic magic, and that passing through it just rapidly ages something until it just kind of wisps away. You find something describing that perfectly. There's all kinds of barriers. There's flaming barriers, physical barriers, psionic barriers. This one definitely looked like necrotic to you.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
I mean, you
you.
can make
I'm
a
not doing
thumb check
shit.
if you want.
Why?
Yes.
Twiddling your thumbs.
You don't read books?
Are you literate?
I am.
I can read.
Guess it's back to you.
I don't know what to find out at this point. How do you kill a divine being is what I'm going to look up.
Okay, go ahead.
Ooh, 19.
Just natural or
Altogether.
altogether 19? You do find a particular book. It doesn't really tell you how to kill something divine, but it does say that there are legends about certain objects that were created to give you advantage against divine beings.
Did it give me a list of these things, or was it just like, oh, hey, you know?
It's basically just archiving like the different legends about things like that. There are things that you do find though, certain weapons that have advantage over them, certain objects that can trap them, certain things that don't necessarily kill them, but kind of like remove them from this plane and send them back to theirs.
We have the answer. Sort of.
I'm going to look up. Like, I feel like if we found the next nobility, we can find out where it's going to be next. But I don't know.
If that'll help us much, we need X weapon plus where it's gonna be, or not even necessarily weapon, but thing, object, device, so on and so forth, where it's gonna pop up, and maybe solve the problem.
But if we find the next nobility, we'll know where it's going to pop up next.
True.
So I'm like, what do I look up, though?
I have no knowledge, nobility / royalty.
I don't
so.
either.
Go ahead and make intelligence checks between two of you, and both of you get advantage on these because you've been reading so much already, and you've passed enough checks.
Oh, 14.
15.
Roll again, because you get advantage,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you roll again so you can get a higher one.
No.
No. 14 and
I got 15.
15 and 14.
And did you roll twice?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I rolled 2 dice, took the better.
Okay. I will say the 15 will just barely get you there. For the sake of plot progression. So as you guys spend a few hours, a few days in this library just like looking at tons of stacks of books you guys have read through, like piling up, getting bigger and bigger. You do come to the conclusion between two of you that maybe there's some kind of item that could cancel out the barrier. Maybe there's something that could destroy it. Maybe that's what you should be looking for.
Yes, we're looking for that. I will look for an object to destroy the barrier.
So as you ask the librarian there, what kind of books would that be? She's this kind of like mousy-haired woman. She's like, I don't know. I don't think we have something like that here.
We need to go elsewhere then, don't we?
I feel like she's lying.
Go do some smart check.
I'm gonna wake the rogue! He's sleeping under a table!
You don't know that.
That's true.
He's gone. I have
What
charisma.
What check are we doing?
So you do some code. So you roll your dice and add some stuff to it.
Wisdom.
What is my self-motive?
If you got no ranks, it's just your dice plus wisdom roll.
Oh, okay.
That one.
Oh no!
Natural 1. Not only do you believe her, but you're like, this is the most trustworthy person I've ever met. This person would never lie to me. You're thinking we could probably be friends, like best friends even. A nice, trusting person.
Your turn.
20, non-natural.
She is indeed. You do not get that she is lying to you at all. You feel like she's being honest.
Whoa, shit, woman. I think we've hit the end of the rope here.
She does tell you, well, the town of Bleakwater has a library more about ancient artifacts and legends and things of that nature.
Let's grab the party and venture forth. Our wizarding is done.
I try to become friends with the librarian.
What do you say?
She's like, hey, pretty lady.
Go ahead.
We should be friends.
Go ahead and do diplomacy.
18.
I think I'd like that. Perhaps when you get back from your adventure.
All
Looks
right.
like the elf's gonna get some tell. Alright.
Let's go find our party.
Wake everybody. Go find the vengeful Haffy.
Have you been sleeping on the table the entire time? Just like the entire few days they've been there?
Dude, he's like this giant grease ball at this
I
point.
suppose.
What have you been doing in the few days?
I did not even enter the library. I'm just at the tavern, we'll say.
Okay.
Let's assume I snore. Let's see if they can find me.
I'm a wizard. I can't find shit. Natural 20.
Oh,
Got
really?
it too.
Found him!
Like my snoring just amplifies and rings through your ears, and I don't know exactly where.
Kind of find Mikhail sitting on the table and just like, kick him like, wake up!
What?
Ugh.
Do you want, old man?
It's time to go. We know our next objective.
Really?
Yes, really.
Okay.
No passing out!
Alright,
like-
come out from under the table.
So as you guys venture forth, you find Alexia drying her sorrows at the tavern.
How
Jesus.
drunk are you?
Hard to say.
At least 2 shots.
Definitely that part.
Time to go to Bleak something or other.
Yep, we're that far along, gentlemen. Ladies. Halfies.
I think it's a different category.
There's only one lady, and they're the happy.
I'm well aware.
Vengeful happy. What was it you said earlier?
This is a vengeful Haffy.
Oh man.
we going?
Don't remember, so I'm going to make a dice roll to see if my character does. 19 plus whatever.
You remember that Bleakwater is your destination.
Bleakwater! We're headed to Bleakwater to go look for more artifacts in an attempt to find something that may or may not help us, or it could just be a dead end and we're all doing this for nothing.
I'd like to ask the first person I see where Bleakwater's at.
Oh, you daft.
Yes.
Oh, my mistake.
Damn right, you're a mistake.
What was that?
I'm daft, remember?
Right. You are actually given a map. I did not draw, but just one of you can write in your possession. You have a map of Verindran, the continent you are on.
Rogue's got it. He's trustworthy.
Guys, I sold the map for this potion.
I don't know what it does. Identify. Just water.
That's water, you idiot.
Are you sure? I don't drink it.
Yeah, it's just water.
So the quickest way that you guys can determine is about a day's travel away from here, and it will take you through the town of I wrote it down. Linsdale.
Linsdale to Bleakwater.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna go on my way.
Okay. Do you guys want to do any kind of preparation for you leave?
Whoa. We got the king's, stuff. Let's get some horses. Let's get some food supplies.
Yeah.
I'm an old man. I've done this before.
Yeah.
Let's get some free vacation hours out of this.
Yeah. And everything you guys need is provided. You are given a grand total of 1,500 gold to split between you guys for traveling expenses and things of that nature.
Now, we can all split this evenly. Or we could all gamble to see if somebody gets all of it.
What kind of gambling you got in mind, old man?
Well, I happen to have these dice I carry with me everywhere. And the person who rolls the highest will get it all.
Okay.
Whatever.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Are we all just rolling a d20?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly what's going on in case you didn't pick up on that.
Can I do a sleight of hand to get an advantage roll?
You know, I never said you couldn't. And that's all up to that guy right there.
If I pass my sleight of hand, can I just have a roll with advantage?
Since you guys are all basically in a circle, you don't have any way to determine that you have a natural 20. If you had a trick die, you could do it. You can roll what you get and then do a sleight of hand to try and fake the number.
Yeah, okay.
So we'll roll your 20 first.
It's 12.
12.
Out of 10.
I got a 10.
6.
Filthy knave made up with it all!
That's okay, I still have 4,000 gold.
got it.
So you have 1,500 gold. You guys are each given enough food to slip between you as well.
Do we want to play another game?
2 weeks of dry rations and water skins.
Things are looking up for me. I might actually become a decent thief again.
And you're all given horses.
Woo! I'm gonna summon Shafrazzle for just cuz.
Here's your horse, Shafrazzle. Oh. Okay. Are there any other supplies you guys might want?
Nah.
Can I have a +3 sword?
No.
What about a +2 sword? It's worth an ask.
You're also all given potions of Cure Light Wounds.
Woo!
Can I have a new cloak?
Something enchanted or...
Just a new cloak, because mine's bloodstained.
Oh, yeah. Woo! You are given sufficient arrows.
What is behind me? Oh,
The
Pupper.
puppers.
Pupper. Pupper is behind me. I feel like I should get something.
You got enough money to get basically whatever you want.
I know, I'm like, I got $4,000.
Me too.
So for if you want to do like some magical item shopping, we definitely do that after the session.
Yeah.
But any basic stuff you guys want to get?
No, I'm good with what I got.
Yeah.
Perfect. So it is a uneventful half-day travel. It would have been a day on foot, but you guys got horses, so it's an uneventful half-day trip. Oh.
Bartholomew will get back here.
So,
By the way, Alexia, do you still have that sword I lent to you?
The short sword?
Yes.
Yep.
Can I have it back?
Sure.
Thank you.
all right.
You still have like all the information for it?
Yeah.
Oh, what is this? I don't like this grid. this means combat.
I'm scared.
So you guys, a very uneventful half-day travel. You guys get there right when the sun is starting to go down. It's about dusk now. And as you get there, everyone go ahead and do like a knowledge local check.
I don't have that stuff trained.
It's okay.
I do. But I got a 5.
I got a 9
Do I
altogether.
add my...
Do you do a knowledge local?
Wait, no, it was an 11.
Do I add my knowledge local to it?
Yes.
So I got a 9.
18.
18.
Wow.
So as you're all trying to like go through like whatever knowledge you have, like typically, Alexia's like, I've been here before. And you've passed through. What you remember that was a couple years ago when you were here. This town was not surrounded by the giant wooden structure it is now. And as you guys are here, you're looking up and like there's these huge wooden walls with spikes on top, and they go kind of around the whole town. It looks like kind of like a military fortress at this point. And you, actually being here before, you remember like this wasn't like this before.
That's cool, I right up to the gate.
Okay, what do you do?
Is there anyone at the gates?
No, not that you see.
Hello there!
You, the little, like, flap on the door kind of, like, slides open and he's like, who's there? State your business.
Ah, we're travelers. We're going to... What's it called? Bleakwater?
Yes.
We're on our way to Bleakwater and we want to know if we can stay here for the night and rest.
Do you have papers?
Papers?
I have books that have papers on it.
What kind of papers do you want?
Proof saying you are who you are.
Proof?
We are on a quest from the King of Vanden. Let us through. We are who we say we are. We just need to get through.
Make a diplomacy check. Or intimidation if you want. You're probably better
I
at
do have
intimidate.
intimidate.
You're probably better at it.
8.
Plus what?
Nope, just 8.
You have points of intimidation?
It was 4 plus 4, so it's 8.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. He was kind of like, lots of strangers about.
I just kind of want to be like, I'm sorry about our half-elf here. It's kind of sensitive about proving who they are. But yeah, we're just adventurers. Like, we just need a place to stay. Like, we're not gonna harm anybody. Like,
We're just passing
Go ahead and make
through.
diplomacy
we
check.
have money too if you want that.
Go ahead and make diplomacy with advantage.
Good God, that was a 3. That was a 4.
I am going to look at that man and I'm going to be like,
12.
sir. And he needs to make a save real quick.
Alright. I got a 4.
he is now friendly towards me
Oh.
as I cast charm on him.
Oh.
Now, we're good friends, you and me. Of
The
course
best,
we
of
are,
course.
yes. Why wouldn't you let the rest of my friends in? I mean, come on.
Oh, I don't know what I was thinking. I'm so sorry. I don't. All of you come in. I'm so sorry.
Wonderful to have you here. Wonderful to be here. I appreciate this town and the wall of wooden spikes you have.
Oi! Open up the gates! And you hear this mechanism kind of grind as the walls kind of like spread apart. And you guys are welcomed in.
Nice one.
Oh, I need another one of these, by the way. Natural 4.
I told you you were in for a ride with my rogue.
You gotta get some dice that are like attuned to you or something.
I think my highest roll this session has been like a 10.
I love when you rolled natural 20 and then you got all 1s for your damage.
It was like my first sneak attack, and it was a crit. And I got a 1 to hit my crit, so that was like, I think I ended up doing like 8 damage from that, and then I got like 1s on my sneak attack.
Yeah. So as you guys are welcomed into the town, you see that it's not just the outside that's been militarized. Houses have been like reinforced with like wood and things of that nature. It doesn't even look like people really live here anymore, so much like kind of a military base. But sure enough, there are still townspeople you see walking around. Whenever they see you, though, they kind of like eye you up and down suspiciously and kind of like hurriedly run away. You see mothers grabbing their children and being like, "Don't talk to them."
Me waving.
Is there like a tavern clearly like somewhere?
It's not really a tavern so much. Like there's just like this bar where people drink. It's literally like a slab of wood for a bench, and there's a bar and there's a guy there giving out fire water.
Is there a place to clearly park our horses?
Yeah, there's tables.
I put my horse in a stable.
Okay.
I do that too.
Okay.
I stay on the horse.
I do not.
Just gonna nap there. I guess it works cheaper than a hotel.
No, I get up and go to the bar.
Okay. Like it's not even inside. Like it's just
Yeah, it's just like an outside, like...
yeah.
I'm going to walk up to somebody and go like, perhaps you could help an old man. Why is your town fortified as such?
Go ahead and gather information.
Oh dear, I'm terrible at those. Maybe not today. 14.
14. 14 is good enough. For all the attacks, of course. Ever since the mist started to come, ravenous beasts have attacked our town. We had to build these walls to keep them out.
Beasts, you say? Of what nature?
Trolls and orcs and goblins and wargs.
I'm going to go take a nap now.
That took a lot out of you.
So as I go to the bar and ask for a drink, what kind of response do I get from the people around?
They're suspicious of you because you are an outsider, and well, this is not like closed off from the general public. They're wary of strangers. So people kind of look at you and they're just like suspicious of you. We're like, all right, I guess you can be here. The bartender doesn't care. It's like, if you got coin, you're welcome here. If not, get the fuck out.
Okay. How about a round for everybody?
Okay.
You did just make out like a bandit.
How about does everyone want to do a shot? Like for a round?
Oh my god, yes.
Are you
Alright,
feeling
let's do
okay?
it.
I
Let's
don't
do
know
it.
about you. I don't want to kill you.
He's only
Okay.
had like one the entire game.
He's been
I
drinking
don't
like
have
whiskey the entire
more
time.
of
Though.
that.
This is my third glass?
So it's like a personal decision there.
I'll have some liquors, Mike. I think
Ooh, alright.
Here you go.
it's a good choice. Thank you. Ooh, I spilled a little bit. Just one drop. All right. So as you walk up, his demeanor goes from being like kind of a jerk to you to being like, oh, clearly got coin to spend.
I raise my drink and I'm just like, cheers, friends.
Yummy. That's good. Not had Maker's Mark in a while. Some good stuff. So that'll be 1 gold piece for the round.
I give him 10.
10 gold pieces, alright. He's like, if I can do anything else for you while you're here, let me know. And he kind of like hastily shoves into his pouch.
Okay. So why you got all these? I was like, how long have these walls been up?
Well, the construction took a couple months to finish, but after a lot of our people were attacked, we had no choice but to build them up.
Attacked by what?
Ravenous beasts.
Like actual beasts?
Sometimes.
What do they look like?
We mostly had trouble with orcs and goblins and a few trolls, but lately there's a pack of wargs running around, stealing our livestock and breaking into the town and killing people.
What's a warg?
It's a big dog.
A big dog?
Yes.
Like a domestic looking dog, or is it like a wolf?
It's kind of both, honestly.
Kind of both. Okay.
Sounds like you
Is
must
this happening?
defend this village.
Does it happen daily or nightly?
No.
Just every so often?
Ever so often, yes.
Well, that sucks.
Aye, bites the big one.
Haven't you requested any aid from the king?
He sent a few guards, but there's not much you can do with a big 300-pound beast at your throat.
I'm just gonna keep drinking.
Okay.
I go to the library.
There is no library here.
Oh.
This is not
There's
that
maybe
town.
3 books.
There's a book about hunting, fishing, and hunting and fishing.
And they're all wrote by the same schmuck.
Yeah.
I read them.
Oddly enough, the hunting and fishing one came first, and the other 2 were just separate, just because.
I inquire about finding a place to nap for the night.
He says there is a kind of a stopping for local travelers when they come here. It's not much, but it's a bed, kind of.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
He basically tells you that it is a shack with like some hay and like some pillows put over it, and then like another pillow, and like that's their little hovel.
That's their inn.
Yeah. So it ain't much, but it's free.
I'll take it.
Do any of you gentlemen have a place I could stay? I'll pay.
I have a scroll for this situation.
Oh yeah.
I cast a tiny hut.
I dig it.
How big is this tiny hut?
You create an unmoving opaque sphere of force of any color you desire. It's going to be purple. Half the sphere projects above the ground. The lower hemisphere passes through the ground. As many as 9 other medium creatures may fit into the field with you. We can freely pass into and out of the hut without harming it. However, if you remove yourself from the hut, the spell ends. The temperature inside the hut is 70 degrees Fahrenheit. If the exterior is 0 degrees and 100 degrees Fahrenheit, the exterior temperature is below, correspondingly. The hut also provides protection against elements such as rain, dust, sandstorms. The hut withstands any wind less than hurricane force, but hurricane above 75 miles an hour per wind or greater force destroys it. The interior of the hut is a hemisphere. You can illuminate it dimly upon command or extinguish the light as desired. Although the force field is opaque from the outside, it is transparent from within. Missile weapons and most spells effects can pass through the hut without affecting it. Although the occupants cannot be seen from outside the hut, they have total concealment. So, I create a giant force bubble from a scroll that I no longer have, because I just spent it.
So as you pull the scroll out and begin reading the words on it, the scroll itself just kind of disintegrates you, but then the effect creates this huge sphere for you to whatever you want.
La vida loca, motherfuckers.
I'm sleeping at his place tonight.
Still offering to pay.
You can
It's
sleep
free!
Dude, your magic's been pretty hit or miss for me. I don't know about that. I'm not about that life.
I'm gonna walk over to you. I'll be like, it's okay. Enlarged person.
Are you serious?
Yes. If you want to resist it, it is a fortitude save, DC 16.
No.
So you were feeling that horrible, uncomfortable feeling again as your bones start to swell and you feel blood and just... the bartender's like, whoa! That's a neat trick!
Have fun for the next 15 minutes. As I walk into my safe bubble. My safe space.
I'm going it too.
Can you go in it?
Yeah, up to 9 living creatures can fit inside this.
Well,
I suppose I'll just sit there and twiddle my thumbs for 15 minutes. My huge, stupid thumbs. Dude, I'm pretty dexterous. I can still twiddle.
Alright, so with the bartender does offer you his bed. He's like, you can sleep anywhere you want if you keep slinging gold like that around. But I don't know about this size.
Apparently it will go away after a while.
Oh. Well, let me know when it does.
Alright.
Gonna need a lot more beverage to sleep.
Alexia, what are you doing right now?
Sleeping outside.
Outside? Like outside? Or
Yeah.
like you didn't go inside the town?
Like on the ground?
Like in the forest. Where
There's
my
no-
natural habitat is.
There's no forest around you right now.
Well, then I'm just sleeping outside.
Like outside the town?
Sure.
Okay. That's fine. Go ahead and make a listen check for me.
Mm-hmm. 13.
13. So as night falls, you guys settle in and find your respective places to stay. Everyone else go and make a listen check too.
5.
16.
What'd you get?
15?
16.
Everyone above 10 hears it.
I don't hear it.
Um,
Wait, what do you
so,
add to the 5?
intelligence?
Wisdom.
So I got 7.
7, okay. So, okay. 10 and above, good. For Alexia, so as you're kind of like making your own bed outside and just kind of doing your own thing, you hear kind of like this low guttural growling sound. And it's difficult to see through the mist, but as you look around, it's kind of coming from all around you.
Okay.
Wait. There's mist?
Yes.
Okay.
When the sun goes down, the mist comes out. So
That's exactly what happens all the time.
yes.
No wonder I want to die.
Do you want to do anything?
I'll do a spot check to see if I see anything.
Okay, go ahead.
4.
4. So, unfortunately, the fog is too blanketed around you for you to kind of see through it. You do manage to see your hand in front of your face, but that's about it. You guys inside the fort, however, you do hear the same low kind of gurgle growling. Except for you.
Hey man, I'm not in that. I'm in the bartender's house.
Yeah, no, I know.
I hear nothing. I'm dead asleep. I'm like,
Oh, what is this in my safety bubble? I step outside momentarily. Who has invoked the wrath of my shillelagh?
So as you kind of like poke your head out of the hut, the town, because there are walls, there's not as much fog in here. Well, you probably like up to your ankles. Not as bad. But you kind of look out and like you don't see anything. There's still the guards. They're up on the ramparts they've kind of built like a torch out. They're looking out. They don't appear to be disturbed, but you definitely heard what you heard.
Can you take breaks in?
We're almost done.
What are y'all gonna do?
Prepare some spells.
Okay.
So we all just heard like a logo.
Yeah, even
Besides
like
me.
it's a small town for the most part. Honestly, like it's not that big.
I'll draw my weapon and go outside.
Yeah, do they have guards here? Like, is it?
Yeah, they're like huntsmen, and they're up on the ramparts. Like so, there's like two of them doing a night's watch.
Okay, so they're like just kind of like doodle doodle twiddle their thumbs. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's pretty much it, though.
Yes.
We got no backup, and it's just us.
Yes.
All right, let's do this. Shillelagh.
That's such a good word.
It is a druid spell,
It is.
and I wish wizards could learn it.
Maybe someday.
I will find some cross-class bullshit where I can do it.
Go ahead and make a hide check, Alexia. With advantage, because there is a lot of mist, like I said.
There is an armor check penalty to this.
No, that's fine. Let's go ahead and make it with advantage. Or try to do with advantage, rather.
18.
18? Perfect. So, as you kind of like, you hear the sound and you press yourself up against the wall where you had been making camp previously, you see these huge shadows whoosh, whoosh, past you.
Okay. I'm not gonna move. I'm not gonna, like, sit there and start something.
Okay.
They just walk past me.
So, no listen check required. You start to see, or you start to hear just kind of this thumping sound, and then everyone makes spot checks.
Do I?
Yes. Well, not you, you're still
Yeah,
asleep.
I'm still asleep.
8.
9.
26.
26. So you being the only one, as you start hearing this thumping kind of all around you, like when it does like this sound, it reverberates all around you. You see the door is kind of starting to heave forward a little bit with that. The guards also hear it and they're like, "Go check that out!" And so one of them starts to climb down the ladder to go check out the door, and then the other one looks over the building, or over the wall, and you see this huge, massive creature jump up and maul him, and he's pinned on the ground.
Oh!
I'm asleep.
That's true.
I'm just sleeping through all of this.
I guess I'd move towards the gate.
Okay. As you start to move towards the gate... Oh, they're good.
I'm gonna poke my head in the tiny hut and be like, "Wake up, knife ears."
Knife ears.
Do I wake up?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm awake.
Do you want to wake up? I mean, that's the question.
Wake up, knife ears. There's bad guys.
No. I'm a heavy sleeper.
So you say that, just... Well, no. Rolls over.
In my rollover.
Right into ITC we go.
So you see the other guard who climbed down the ladder. He did not see what you saw. And as he goes towards the gate to kind of look through it, he pulls back the little peephole thing. And as he pulls it back, the gates burst open, splinter everywhere. Several of these other large furry creatures kind of run through the gate, and quick as lightning, just getting scattered, just kind of start running across the town. And then as the gate splinters forward all the way, just huge, bigger than the rest of them, just walks forward. and snarls at you guys.
Knock it off. You get out of here.
That's where we're gonna end it for the night, guys.
Yeah.
So thanks everyone for watching. Let's give it up for like our amazing guests. You guys did great. Make sure you guys watch Tuesday for our Drunk Souls and Saturday for our next session. But yeah, I hope you guys all had fun. Remember, we are affiliated now, so you can subscribe to us. Every little bit you do subscribe helps out the channel. The better content we can make for you guys, the more production we can do, the bigger group we can do. At least give us a follow, check out our content, and yeah, enjoy. Thanks, guys. Go ahead and stop shaking.